He looks like Morty from Rick and Morty. I do. Did you start the stream back up? It doesn't say live anymore. I guess I could search. I guess I could search on your channel. Hey, your fucking the video I made for you got 8 views. By the time you uploaded it, it got kind of deep fried. Are we live?
Okay, there we go. Now we're live.
I'm live? I'm live?
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. Alright. I don't know who the fuck is watching. I guess we will start. So. Oh god, my signal is bad. Come on. Red, orange, red, orange. Green. Okay. Green. Well, this is... I guess this is just what we got. Okay. Whatever. Welcome to the AVC show. Sorry about the cancellation last week. I wasn't feeling good, so I worked on some music. I didn't work on any videos. I'm sorry, I suck. You guys don't pay me enough. Pay more money, you might get better results. So, today's show is sponsored by David Michelangelo. He is a marketing advisor and analyst from Colombia looking for English-speaking clients. So, go hit him up. DM me, and I can set you up with him. He kind of disappeared because he got hacked. So I guess I'll try to DM him. Anyway, great guy. He gave me some free services, and he didn't ask for money, so I just thought I'd do this as a favor. Keep shilling him. And yeah, today we have a guest. His name is Alcoholic Gaming, longtime friend, co-host on my last year and the year prior's content. We really jive together, don't we?
Yeah, we do, and I'm hoping to kick off the new year coming back bigger, badder, and swinging harder than ever.
Hopefully you're talking about your dick.
Yes.
Nice. I like it. So, well, want to start with your topic, or we could just go down my list? What do you say?
We could just knock my topic out of the way just for shits and giggles.
I guess it's a good opener. All right, let's fire it up. All right, let me get the. Oh, I need to move OBS to a different browser.
Are you actually gonna pull it up on the stream?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up on my second monitor, and then I'm gonna turn OBS to look at that said monitor. Okay, let me turn the music off. I can't fucking think right now. Alright. Okay, stream starting. Monitor 2. Hold on, I need to make sure it's not the right. Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay. So, courtesy of Alcohol Gaming, he brought some breaking news today. Tennessee cops, including married female officer, fired after repeated wild sex romps. Which is actually from January 9th, but whatever. Recent, it's breaking enough. So, do you want to read or you want to take turns?
We could take turns.
All right.
I suppose.
We'll take turns each paragraph. A small Tennessee police station has been rocked by allegations of wild sexual misconduct after a married female officer allegedly had steamy romps with 6 male officers, including illicit on-duty liaisons, according to reports.
Officer Megan Hall and her fellow law enforcers allegedly engaged in wild sexcapades that included sending dirty pictures, taking her top off at a Girls Gone Wild hot tub party, and even having oral sex with 2 officers at the and I'm going to butcher this.
Laverne?
Laverne?
Mm.
Laverne 10 police station.
Good old Tennessee. Good old Deep South. You know, Christian values, right? The steamy
Here's the
shenanigans.
problem. So here's the problem with having women in the military and in the police force. Like the group of men that you want to go out and to defend you and your country's interests.
Serve and protect.
Yeah, and I'm sure these women are really serving and protecting being around all these alpha men.
I'm sure they're serving and protecting their fucking male colleagues behind closed doors. Yeah. Well, another quick side note. So I had a friend told me, ex-military friend. He told me that the Navy is where ugly girls go to get laid, and it looks like the fucking Tennessee Police Department is no different.
I apologize. I'm still a little sick, so I'm gonna try to not sniff as much.
Look, man, as long as you lay down some good cocoa when you make that sniff, I think we'll be okay. We can put up with it. Anyway, so the steamy shenanigans in which Hall allegedly bragged about the size of one partner's genitals and claimed to be in an quote open marriage not only led to Hall to be canned, but led to the firings of Sergeant Lewis Powell, Officer Juan Lugo, Sergeant Ty McGowan, and Detective Seneca Shields, according to December internal investigation. AG?
Officers who allegedly had romps with Hall, Patrick, I can't say that last name. How do you say that?
Magiloco.
Magiloco?
Mm-hmm.
And Larry Holiday kept their jobs, but would up and spend according to their reports.
Oh.
Or up and suspended according to the reports.
The extracurricular trysts took place at hotels and parties at other officers' houses and on a boat, while Hall was accused of performing oral sex on Powell and Shields while on duty at the police station at the police gym. According to December 28th internal report, officers began to look into the swinging personal lives of the amorous officers at the Laverne Mayor Jason Cole received a tip. When Laverne Mayor Jason Cole received a tip that Hall was sleeping with several fellow cops and had a threesome with Magiloco. Actually, no, I don't even know if I fucking pronounce that. Maglioco and his wife, among other claims. When asked about the tip, Maglioco admitted to having sex with Hall on, quote, numerous occasions, the report said. Like, what? How does this girl get passed off? She's like a fucking 4, dude. Like,
I actually have a coworker that is a cop, and he said, you know, who really cares what someone does in their spare time outside of work?
Like, do these cops not have wives that look better than this girl? I mean,
he looks like Morty. Pull up a picture of Cop Morty.
Okay, all right.
Cop Morty.
Shit. Let me. Shit. enjoy my Evangelion wallpapers to pass the time. Okay. Here we go. Should have Perez ahead of time. Sorry. Look at this. Look at this. Splitting image right here, right? Look at that. Look at that.
I don't think I see it on the stream.
Look at this shit.
Oh, what? Anime? Wait, I don't think we see it on the stream.
Oh, there's latency. There's latency. Just give it a minute.
Oh.
So yeah, here, just for the viewer, just take a moment to absorb it. Just look at that. Look at that. Splitting fucking image.
Morty's sister right there.
I think it's Morty's fucking female evil twin. Only thing she's missing is the fucking beer gut.
Let's power. How about you go ahead and power through the rest of the article, and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, alright. Alright, where were we? So... Oh, okay. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. So, within these numerous occasions, he told investigators that Hall had told him about Powell's big black dick, and said she performed a sex act on him while the pair were on the clock. The report said. Maglioke also said that he's seen Hall and Holiday kiss while watching football at a party, and said Hall had kissed his own wife, Amy, after learning they had a, quote, open marriage, according to the document. The officer said Hall's husband saw the kiss and told official that the cuckold wasn't really on board with his wife having a threesome with the Magliocos, but she continued having a relationship, investigators said. Oh my god. When questioned, Powell later denied that he had a sexual encounter with Hall, but he said everybody knows she has multiple partners. So he named Holiday with McGowan to investigators. After being caught lying about being at the gym with Hall, Powell admitted to the tryst during a follow-up interview, according to the report. Powell was then involved in a domestic disturbance with his wife. Oh, I wonder why. He told investigators, quote, beat the shit out of me, adding that he, quote, would most likely lose his children after the spurned woman learned of the affair. Holiday admitted under questioning to have sex with Hall, quote, multiple times, and McGowan revealed that he once went to Hall's house with another female and exposed his genitals, according to the graphic report. After initially denying having sexual relationships with Powell and Magliocco, Hall later copped, get it, to the affairs, and also admitted to having sex with Lugo at a motel after they met at a go-kart center, a charge that Lugo initially denied before caving under a second interrogation. Under questioning, Shields said, I have never had sex with Megan Hall, until admitting she had performed oral sex on him, and while on duty when pressed, the inquest found. Your tax dollars are hard at work. Maglioke also noted that he become concerned about Hall's mental health and heavy drinking and driving. The officer said Hall had once pulled the trigger on an empty gun pointed at her temple so, quote, she could hear what it sounded like, and she said she was suffering from mental illness. Boo-hoo. An oft-mentioned event in the report was a Memorial Day party in the boathouse owned by another member of the department, to which several officers said had brought their children. Oh my god, I could fucking barely. At one point during the party, a quote, intoxicated Hall was reportedly being force-fed vodka by Magliocco in the hot tub, at which the time her top came off as if there's anything to show. And other cops stopped the former officer from drinking and how to cover up to protect her, according to Durham's account. So Officer Larry Holiday was suspended in connection with the graphic allegations. You know, they're fucking jeez. Oh my god. Lugo, Powell, and Shields were also dismissed for violating police procedure and lying during the investigation, along with McGowan, who had been witnessed choking an HR employee. God forbid you choke Karen in HR. Holiday, Magliocco, and Patrol Officer Gavin Schubrel were suspended in connection with the probe, officials said. HR Director Andrew Patton, who authored the report and continued the investigation, sanctioned the 8 officers with various penalties for, quote, sexual activity while on duty, sexual harassment, conduct of unbecoming of an officer, and lying during the course of the investigation. It was further revealed that Hall and many of the male officers have shared lewd text messages and pornographic images of themselves. Pornography and offensive pictures of the workplace are forms of sexual harassment. These items are offensive and inappropriate and could lead to a hostile work environment for the other employees, the report said. Fucking... yeah, what I say, right? Navy's where ugly girls go to get laid. Henry 30 here knows what's going on.
So I have a coworker that is a police officer, and he said it is very, very common for police officers that do get fired to just walk on down the road to the next town or to the next police thing and get a job at the other station.
Yeah, it's a fresh start, right?
Just because you get fired from one police station doesn't mean you can't get hired at the other, as long as you didn't commit like a crime.
Oh shit, maybe I can turn you up, sorry. So yeah. I mean, I guess all I have to contribute to like what's going on here is that I could see two arguments for like including women in the workforce, especially like in police jobs. But let's be fucking real here. If she wasn't there, this is much less likely to be happening. Like the likeliness that like a gay situation where like 2 male officers were going at it is much less likely than even this 4 out of 10 girl cop being passed around at the parties. Like, furthermore, I think that, I mean, look, she's not exactly Bar Raffaelli or Megan Fox. So I suspect she was trying to get a leg up in the bureaucracy and like the I guess the stack in the police department. She's trying to climb the ladder by fucking her way around. And I even suspect at this point the fact that she's like I think she was cheating. I don't think she negotiated with her husband that it was an open marriage or whatever. Or whoever it was, like one of the guy cops that was quote unquote swinging with Hall here. I think, and I also think that like this quote mental health crisis where she was pointing at an empty gun at her head. I suspect that's an act too. That's just how far down bikini bottom my trust for people in general has gotten. Furthermore, I mean, fucking government employees, police officers. Yeah, you know, this is how they protect and serve. I hope you feel safe and secure with your dutiful police officers by your side. Oh my god, this is so funny. Anything else you want to add to this? This was a good article. I'm not gonna lie. Got a lot of mileage out of it.
That was just an icebreaker to lube us up a little bit.
That was an opener.
Did you see the video of President Biden talking about his secret documents he kept in his garage that he would have taken when he was vice president, which would have been illegal and still illegal at this time?
I haven't followed that very closely. I've been too swamped.
Well, the reason why it's interesting is because the FBI raided Donald Trump's house for some documents that he took home from him from the White House or whatever, and like there was like this whole big scene at his house. There's like hundreds of cops. There's cops going through his wife's like underwear drawer and sniffing his underwear. Like, I shit you not, it's on camera.
If you've got video, if you got an article, we can hit it. I mean, other than that, you're it's like the floor is yours. I have not been following. See, like, so like when I hear these things, I think you guys know which side I tend to lean towards. But how can we prove it? Does it really matter? That's kind of a separate matter. That's kind of another question entirely. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
If we got okay, like we could throw that out there, and it would just be like a theory or suspicion or assumption, and and again, you know which side of my bread's buttered. Definitely not the government side. But I don't know. What do we got to work with?
What other topics do we got?
Well, we can let me go look. Well, we can go down my list. The lineup I posted on the server yesterday.
What do you mean by chicken or egg?
Chicken or egg is another fan requested thing, and Mr. Landre Zero is not here today, which is kind of disappointing. But hey, he requested, I'll do it. Or we can start SUPERSTONK, AI and artists. We could do hater
Okay,
hour.
so is it just simply what came first, the chicken or the egg?
It's kind of it requires some context, and he has like this weird chart that I want to look at, which I don't quite understand, and I don't know if you help me with that, but that's another topic we can
Try.
do. Okay, all right. So next topic, instead of SUPERSTONK, which I guess we'll do next, or the following. I had a conversation with someone on my server named Landre Zero, and he has this picture for me, which I kind of need some help from you guys to understand. Here, I'll show it to you real quick. So, here above are the heavens, and then here are the waters above the firmament. Here is the firmament, which I guess is the atmosphere. Here is earth. Here's the pillars of heaven. Here's the shale. Depending on, like, I don't know, I guess if you're going to use a Gaelic pronunciation, it would be shale. And then below is the abyss. Here's the oceans. The ocean is apparently a fluid that has this kind of like mosaic pattern. And it's above the atmosphere. And apparently the atmosphere contains the sun, the stars, and the moon. Like that Florence and the Machine song. So I don't Landry Zero, if you're watching, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to get out of this. This is like another alternative. Looks like another alternative to the the geocentric versus the heliocentric theory or contention, which I'm pretty sure the heliocentric theory is pretty solid. And if you want to be a flat earther about it, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, go nuts. You prove me wrong. Checkmate. I surrender to your obviously superior intellect. You win. Let me pull your pants down so I can fillet you, and you're welcome. Because this obviously makes a lot more sense than our current model because reasons. And yeah, I guess here's a kind of a tangent. So like,
What I think.
yeah,
So what I think it says is that we are already living in heaven.
okay. So like this,
And
this is the terraria. This is the surface of the Earth. And we are here, even though the Earth says it's in this widest part of this like radial gradient from white to black. And firmament just obviously is atmosphere. And the sun is probably about, I don't know, 40,000 feet in the air. Right around the stratosphere. Oh,
heavens, water above the firmament, earth. So earth is just that center bit of white radiating out into the
apparently
sun. And
we are not on Earth. We are standing on the pillars of heaven, which are below us. So we are above heaven. We're above the pillars.
I remember watching this. Watching this guru speak, and he said that we are already living in heaven. We just don't know it.
Oh, heaven and hell are all relative. So also not just relative to like time and place, but also relative from person to person. My idea of hell or eternal torture is a lot different from a lot of people. My idea of eternal hell and torture is public school. And a lot of people like public school, apparently. And girls. So, yeah. Shale. Sheol, if you're going with the Anglic pronunciation, or Shale, which is the Gaelic pronunciation. This is the stuff where we take a I guess a pile driver, and we send an oil rig to drill through the pillars of heaven, down through the pillars of heaven, to access the shale, and we sell the shale to I don't know. No. OPEC drills through the pillars of heaven to access the shale, and then we produce this magical thing called ale. That is both a nourishing beverage, but also a chemical that we can process into plastics and distillates for our manufacturing and fueling purposes. What do you think? This chart is starting to come together. We drink the ale. We pour the ale into our automobiles, and we turn the ale into products, like plastic products. Yeah, yeah. Ale, oil, ale. Get
According
it?
to Wikipedia, it is the Hebrew Bible appears to describe Sheol as the permanent place of the dead in the Second Temple period, roughly 500
Oh, just like
BCE
how
to 700 CE, or 70 CE.
fossils. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What else does it say?
So just like
It also
okay, so
says that
I'd
it's
imagine the
a
deceased.
place of still darkness in which lies after death. Although
I, I
I don't know,
imagine
there's different meanings.
when the denizens of Earth decease and pass on to the next generation, their souls ascend to the heavens beyond the waters above the firmament, and their physical bodies sink into the ground through the pillars of heaven and become shale. And then we honor their death by processing them into gasoline, diesel, and plastic. It takes about 10,000 to 20,000 years, but it is a cycle, and thus shale is therefore a renewable energy source, a renewable resource that is completely green. And this is why the firmament is dark, because in the short term, yes, there is a waste product known as smog that comes from the processing of shale. But hey, it is a cycle of life. Oh man, I can't be the only one that finds
I
it
think you
funny.
should have your I think you should have the guy that asked you to talk about this come on and talk about it more, because
I
I
I
clearly have no clue.
I added him, but I don't know where he's at. He might be camera shy. Well, mic shy, I guess. He's I haven't heard from him yet. So yeah. Anything else you want to add on to like this clearly satirical analogy of petrochemical science? Well, petrochemistry and geology and astronomy, or whatever the study of the Earth's atmosphere is called. No, any takers?
Apparently there's a bunch of different interpretations of what it actually means. So I've got no answers.
Atmosphere.
And
I guess
Wikipedia refers to it as a
atmospheric
concept.
science.
It was, according to what this says, it was just kind of like an idea of what the afterlife is.
So I guess he was. I guess so. Landre Zero was referring to
Is he a Jew?
Judaism. He might be, or maybe he's just like one of those, like he's just like a male version of like the fucking healing crystal Kylie, like alternative medicine girl that smells like fucking patchouli and pot, and just with dreads and like the hemp sweater. What are those called? I think drug ropes or something. And
Yeah.
I think, okay, here. I think Landre Zero looks like this. Girl wearing with dreads, smoking joint. He must be like a male version of this. And he just like picks up Judaism as like a middle finger to Christianity because he doesn't like Christianity or something. So he's not even like Rasta like that. He's just this archetype. He's a male copy of this thing here. He's got the dreads, he's got the pot, he's got the fucking the sweater.
White women with dreads are fucking disgusting.
Anyway, I don't know. I mean, what I like about these kind of girls is that they're less afraid of taking a risk and exploring and venturing in life. And they're probably a bit more interesting than your average young woman that you'd pick up in throughout life. But of course, there's drawbacks to that too, right? They might smell bad, they might be drug addicts. A lot of them are, and they might just be total fuck ups, and they might just end up being more of a liability than an asset. So my first girlfriend worth of shit was kind of going down that road, minus being a complete druggie and a slut. And then she just became like another fucking basic bitch, and that's when I dropped her. And then she was just becoming dead weight. And then I moved somewhere else, and I became so much happier with my life, and I don't miss her. You know who you are. You recognize my voice. I don't really wish you well. I don't care if you get hit by a bus. So, yeah. Anyway, well, anything else you want to add on? Should we hit the next topic? I'm not in a hurry.
The next time we need to interpret the Hebrew stuff, we should probably have a Jew on.
I mean, we both watch Evangelion, and that teaches a thing or two about Judaic Judaic theology. Don't you think? So anyway, I also, Jews are smart. They figured out the process of the pipeline from like life on Earth to fossils to fossil fuels, literally fossil fuels, through this image here. So applause to you, oy vey smear. Yeah. Anyway, so I think let's hit the next topic. So, oh yeah, SUPERSTONK. Okay, r/SUPERSTONK. So, in case any of you are wondering what, it's a nice hold on, I need to. So here's a nice Gangstar reference. I want more power. I'm getting more troops. I'm gaining more respect because I want more juice. The most influential men got influential friends, and I'ma put the squeeze on all of them. So right here, voila, c'est bon, mon ami. Here it is, my friends. Open market manipulation. So this is, if you've heard of Wall Street bets, that's last year's shit. Now we got r/SUPERSTONK. This is organized open market manipulation. Yes, it is illegal. No, the government doesn't really seem to be doing anything about it right away. And the other question I got to ask is, should they? Isn't this just really part of the free market if you think about it? People are just dogpiling on Reddit to just short squeeze an asset, and then it fucking blows up like right here, like GameStop. And well, I guess no, hold on. This is what happened last year. So, yeah, man. Just so you know, the market's being fucked by a bunch of morons on Reddit. How does that make you feel, AG?
Makes me feel really great when I got my first Robinhood account so long ago, and they gave me a free stock of GameStop, and then you told me to sell it.
When the fuck did you sell though?
When you told me to, you told me to sell it. You told me it was a waste of money.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, this was way before it happened. So had I left it there and forgot about it, it would have eventually been worth however much it was worth. Like
Well, like
dollars to fucking whatever it peaked at.
Well, like free stock is just really a way to. So Robinhood obviously clearly attracts the younger crowd, and for kids who don't know how the fucking stock market works, it kind of like lures them in. Say, oh, ooh, I got some free stock for signing up for Robinhood. Oh yeah, it's cool. I'm gonna hit them stonks, bro. And it's not worth shit. It's like the mental energy you devote to figuring out what to do with it is worth more than it costs more than what that asset is worth. Unless something fucking crazy like this happens, but then how would you know when it would happen? So, I mean, this goes back to like that one video I talked about regarding chasing bubbles. So you can chase bubbles. You can chase momentum, which really is just chasing really short-term, steep momentum. But you got to buy high, you got to sell higher, and you got to accept the fact that you're probably going to miss most of it. Or you can buy high, sell even higher, and then miss out on less of it, but then you run the risk of staying too long at the party before the door closes on your face. So, what do you want to do with it? Up to you, man. It's a free market. It's a wild west. People buy and sell whatever the fuck they want. And if there's this many people doing it, like, I guess here's why it's not illegal. Is because there are so many fucking people doing this, organized on Reddit, that they could, like, okay, so let's pretend you are the government. You say, like, oh, r/SuperStonks is manipulating the market. Oh, we need to preserve justice in the free market and free enterprise by restricting the free activities of people freely trading in the stock market. So methodologically, that's the issue there. But then logistically, the question is like, okay, the government's got a lot of fires to put out. How many resources do they have to allocate to investigate some fucking dipshits on Reddit fucking with the stock market? Probably not a lot. And bubbles happen all the time, intentionally or unintentionally, organized or organically. So I guess now it makes sense why that this is, yes, openly manipulating a market, but it is not worth the government's time to investigate it. And if you turn off Reddit or organized stock market manipulation on Reddit, then it's just going to show up somewhere else. Like, we're going to have like the Bitcoin bubble or the housing market bubble, the tech bubble. Bubbles happen all the time. They blow up, they pop. Life goes on, I guess. So, general investment strategies, don't buy into these. But if you got nothing left to lose, you want to make some quick money, you're willing to buy high, sell higher, and get out early, go for it. But I don't know how you're going to time it. You're literally just timing the market. Your call. Your money. I'm not liable. I'm not a financial expert. So, yeah. I guess that took less time than I thought it would. And I kind of learned something just by squinting at it and thinking about it. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Talking about it out loud?
Yeah.
Not really. I'm not an expert on stocks.
I guess I'm sorry. I'm sorry I told you to sell your AMC. Your fucking what, like $5 worth of AMC that Robinhood gave you upon sign up.
It's not like there was any way of us knowing ahead of time that it would have that was going to happen.
Well, there isn't. That's what a bubble is. It comes out of
the
nowhere.
The only way we could have known is that we were on Reddit looking for Wall Street bets.
I think eventually when the government like has some like free manpower and cash to chase it, what they're actually gonna do. No, actually they don't even have to do anything. What they do is they audit your taxes, and they see you make fucking, I don't know, you made 1 million, 2 million, 5 million off of this Reddit bullshit of short squeezing GameStop and AMC. and then they're just gonna audit the shit out of you because clearly you got some cheese to give them. So they're just gonna audit until they get the money they want, or you pay them off, or I don't know, you go have sex with the local police department so you won't get arrested. That's how you fucking get out of this. Win win win, right? You get laid, you get paid, you kill it in the stock market. Fuck, that's the life, man. I don't know. What do you think? You think that sounds like a good plan?
Do I think it sounds like a good plan?
Fuck, dude. In
I
that
don't
case,
know.
I take back my advice, man. Go chase these bubbles. Go make some fucking hella dough. When you get audited by the IRS, just invite them to your house and show them a good time in bed. Everybody wins.
I think you should try to encourage more people to only bet what they can lose.
Yeah, you tell people that, but are they actually gonna like listen to that advice?
Mm.
Oh man. Anyway, man, this show just gets more fun with every topic. Oh fuck. All right, ready for the next topic?
Yeah. What's the next? What's the next
Oh
topic?
shit. Oh man. Okay, AI and artists. Oh yeah, this is a good one. So, medium.com. AI killed the artist? Question mark. Should artists be worried about AI art prompt programs like Midjourney and dall-e? I need a sip of water. Be right back.
Well, guys, I don't know if y'all can hear me or not, but this is the AVC stream. If you are tuning in right now, which I doubt you're doing, because I feel like we're just talking to ourselves, please sit back, relax, put your cock in your hand, and enjoy the ride.
All right. Okay. I guess I'll read it since you don't seem too excited about reading. Will the world end for artists? Made via prompt written into Midjourney by me, author Joy Phillips, with her amazing, massive 248 followers. Is it art? Question mark.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Excuse me. It just might be, or maybe it's autism. The world may never know. Should I be worried that people will buy a 5-minute computer-generated image over my 50-hour-long creation? Okay, hold on. You see this? This rhetorical question right here is called labor theory of value. So literally Marxist economics. Labor theory of value is an argument for, like, in short, it means that I put a lot of work into this, therefore it's worth more money than something I put less time into. It's kind of bullshit, right? Yeah. Why would you buy something just because I don't know? I spent 50 hours carving a statue of my frozen feces, carving my frozen feces into a statue, and because I put 50 hours into my shit statue, and the next guy put 2 hours into a painting, my art is worth more. That's what literally labor theory of value. And this is exactly what's going on here. Do you see it? Do you see the parallel? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting how it's kind of suggestive on the direction that this whole mentality is going, isn't it? But we'll see. Maybe that's not the actual opinion of Joy Phillips. Maybe Joy Phillips is just like throwing it out there. It's just like a little like a headline to get people to read the article, which is that's journalism. That's good journalism. Is someone who typed this prompt able to call themselves an artist? Question mark. How can concept artists compete with companies who using AI generated art? There are so many questions right now whether AI art is really art, and there's no concrete answer. Maybe people who use AI art generators and do not do any post-production work should have their own title if we don't want to combine them with artists. Perhaps a promptist? I like that term now and will use it through the rest of my story. If you head over to Twitter, you will find an angry mob of artists ripping into AI art generators. And they have a right to be worried, especially when they are finding promptists using their names to generate pieces in their artistic style. Ugh, yuck. And therein lies the problem. By using an artist's actual name to replicate a particular style, a copyright line is being crossed. This is something that should be addressed. Remember, should seldom is, but it should be addressed, among other things, by the creators of generators like Midjourney and dall-e. A list of artist names that trigger a cancellation of the prompt should be a start. Could be a start. Normally, if you want to be an artist and do art in a particular style, you must practice, practice, practice. Clearly, okay, it looks like this Joy Phillips lady is British. Similar can be done with, or Australian or New Zealand or whatever. Same bullshit. Similar can be done with a AI art generator. The prompt needs to take time and test various words to learn how to get the effect they want. Which is a skill, isn't it? It requires taste. It requires technical knowledge of your tools. That's art. I know I would respect someone who took the time, labor theory of value again. I know I would respect someone who took the time to learn how to produce an art and produce a style with words over someone who just typed an artist's name. There are a few concerns about people losing work to AI-generated art with a lot of new artists popping up in pod sites like Redbubble and Etsy. By the way, hashtag not sponsored, Redbubble. I get all my fucking anime stickers from this place. Go shop there. They're awesome. And others producing services like book cover designs. This is just affecting artists, but also layout designers and graphic designers, and probably other ones I haven't seen yet. But art is so much more than what a computer can generate. You can't generate a physical art piece with paint brushes and brush strokes, charcoal or pencil marks. Artists who produce physical artworks may be affected by some print sales, but not physical artwork sales. It's digital artists that will have the most trouble competing with AI or generated art. No. Hold on. Hit the brakes on this clown train. Physical artwork is definitely being squashed by digital artwork, because digital artwork is much more accessible, much more versatile. You can actualize your artistic vision with much less work. And people who don't like it are just Luddites. And they can go eat shit. Because take a look at the market of, like, art paintings. Like, your best shot at that is just to be, like, a caricature artist on the street, where people drop you a few bucks to, like, draw a caricature of them. Or you become the next Van Gogh and hope that your paintings will sell in a museum for, like, $5 million, but what chances? How likely is that to be? Even if you're a fucking good painter. Or you could do, like, I don't know, graphics for businesses on Photoshop, email it to them, get paid, and do that like a full-time job. Duh. So yeah, you can beat your hands on the table, forks and knives. I demand money for my painting, for my oil painting, and no one will give a fuck. Sorry. That's why I'm a digital artist. That's why I make my own art. That's why I use computers as a tool. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me finish reading. They, though, have the benefit of adding feeling to the artwork and the story behind it. A lot of work goes into an image that isn't able to be created by technology. This is something only an artist can add to a piece. But there's always a but. There are also benefits of AI-generated art for an artist. For example, artists can use it to begin the concept process and then continue to work on the generated output. Individuals who want a specific character drawn can use the AI generator to give concepts or character angles to an artist as a reference for unique artwork. There are a range of ways an artist can use these programs as a tool if they wish. She fucking said it for me. But let me finish first. If we find a way around promptists using artists' name as a reference, then I believe we can view this technology as what it really is, a tool for the job. Every time I think about this issue, I'm reminded of when mobile phones started having cameras. All of a sudden, everyone was a photographer. but photographers and photography are as an art form and lifestyle survived. I believe artists will too. So, this Joy Lady isn't completely stupid and isn't completely communist, which brings hope to my fucking exhausted, black, rigid heart. So, what the fuck? Why is my OBS not working? Hold on, sorry. Technical difficulties. So in the meanwhile, do you have anything you want to add? Or do you want me to just, like, drop my 2 cents right away?
I don't really have anything I need to add. Yeah.
Fuck. Come on. Why the fuck isn't this shit working? Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. And transgenders. And non-binary Foxkin Apache helicopters. So, my biggest takeaway from this is that, first of all, you know, commies need to shut the fuck up. The free market chooses what is valuable. And if you're doing it for money, you're not an artist, you're a businessman. So be honest. And second, so whenever, okay, let's go all the way back to the first documentations of art created by humans. So when Caveman Bob was drawing on the cave, and Caveman Joe said, hey, ooga booga, Caveman Bob, look at this, I got a tablet. You see this? I can take my painting around with me. And he rubs it in Caveman Bob's face. How do you think Caveman Bob felt? Caveman Bob's probably kind of salty that his mural of, here, let me get some images for context. So the first implementation of technology to improve art is that Caveman Bob over here, he's drawing art on the cave wall, right? Caveman Joe walks around with his tablet, and everyone's like, ooh. Caveman Joe can take his art around with him wherever he goes, and he can go draw stuff with his tablet. And then Caveman Bob's like, fucking Caveman Joe, I'm better than him. Look how much more detailed my painting is. You can't paint that on your fucking stone tablet, you schmuck. And the Caveman Joe's like, whatever. All right, I'll just walk around and just start painting shit. I'll start carving shit into my tablet stone that I can carry around in my hands, unlike you fucking hipster. So then, I guess another 1,000 years later, let's say there's another Caveman Joe. He's got his tablet around. Everyone's got like stone tablets. They're doing drawings on stone tablets. And then they go to China, and in China, they invented rice paper. So the Chinese are like, oh, you still drawing on stone tablets? We got rice paper. We paint on rice paper. It's so much lighter. We can hang on wall. We don't have to worry about stone chisel. We use paintbrush. We use black soy ink and draw on paper. Ha! Your technology is inferior. So how do you think the Caveman Joes with their stone tablets look at the Chinese, and they're looking at this fucking thing called paper? They're like, what the hell is this? It's so frail. It gets so dirty so easily. It rips. My stone stuff is better. Plus, I know it takes longer to go ding, 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 ding with my hammer and chisel to carve into the stone. But that's called craftsmanship, man. You fucking, you people, you Asian people with your rice paper, that's so high tech. That's so fragile, and it's too efficient. It just takes the work out of it. It defies my labor theory of value as a primitive caveman looking at ancient Chinese technology. All right, let's go another 100 years in the future. So maybe another that may be like another 10,000 years in the future. So the Chinese are they're being colonized by the British, right? And the British have, let's say they got a telegram. So the British use their telegram. And then, they go because they got electricity. And the Chinese are like, oh, you British people, what is this nonsense? You don't have to write on paper just to communicate? What the fuck? That's so lazy. That's so alien. There's craftsmanship in penmanship and writing on paper, on rice paper. And the British are like, oh no, this is so much more efficient. Why are you wasting all your time writing on paper? I could just tap this electric switch and I talk to my friends across the country, across the great English empire, and then so on and so forth. And now you repeat it again. So then we went to like now we have traditional forms of art. Now we got electronic systems coming from like in European industrialization, and then here we are. So in this situation, if you're technically inclined, you could AI is like technology is a tool. Technology is a tool to achieve human will. And you could and ultimately, I don't know if you've heard the story of John Henry. John Henry was a mighty man. So yeah, there's a Disney movie about this where John Henry he drove all these metal spikes, railway spikes to lay down railroad tracks. And let's see if I could get a video rolling just for some more context versus the Steam. So John Henry was a mighty man. That was the song. He's yoked as fuck. He's a big guy. He can swing that 20-pound sledgehammer like it's a I don't know like it's a fly swatter. He is not. He is a force to be reckoned with. He is as powerful as 5 men working together. But in the end of the day, so he went on a race, a literally dick swinging match with a steam engine, and obviously he lost. He literally died of exhaustion, probably due to heart failure because he got the safe and effective COVID vaccine. Yeah, okay, jokes aside. So yeah, he could not beat the steam engine. The steam engine is more powerful than him. Now, let's say we had like a steampunk like spin-off of this John Henry story. And he upgraded his body to be like to have like a steam engine core and like 2 pneumatic what do you say? Pneumatic powered arms. Mechanical arms. Then he probably literally could have beat the steam engine. In fact, he'd be more versatile than the steam engine. He may even be more accurate. He could do like I don't know, he can let's say there's an interruption in the tracks or whatever, which would derail the train. He could just jump over it and then keep hammering. If he became a cyborg, he would merge his human will, which is very strong human will, and with the repetitive brute force of machinery, and he would be a superior beast and warrior unit. Or another analogy is that there is a wild beast upon you. You could hate the beast, you could reject him, and you would just be on your feet. Or you could learn to ride the beast, and you and the beast together could form a synergistic relationship to be a far more effective fighter and beast unit. You can beat him, you can join him. Oh, no. If you can't beat him, why not just join him? So this really kind of comes back to like attitude. There's all kinds of situations where you're faced with a force that is much more powerful than you in one regard. However, in this situation, like AI is a very powerful tool. What AI will do for us is right now, at least right now, they will do the bulk labor. They will do the brunt work. They will do the repetitive, heavy-duty, boring, tedious, heavy, skill-intensive work. But in the end, AI cannot create ideas for you. They can help you create the ideas. They are a tool, as even Miss or Ms. Phillips here has agreed. But they aren't the replacement to the artist. AI is intelligence, but intelligence is just a means to an end. What is the end? You must decide that as an artist, and that is your creativity. That is still the human element that is yet to be defeated by technology. So, you could beat him, you can join him. You could be John Henry, or you could be the cyborg that kicks his ass. You could fear the beast, you can hate him, or you can learn to ride him and fight better together. Technology's there. Sometimes it's free, sometimes you gotta pay for it. Is it your friend or is it your enemy? It's kind of up to you. I, for one, would love to see this. I could make my own anime. I could speed up I can produce the same work in less time, or I could do way more work in the same amount of time. And even if the work isn't perfect, well, that's when I come in. I'm the technician to babysit the machine to make sure the machine does its job. If we didn't leverage AI or industrialization or fucking, I don't know, the stone tablet with caveman Joe rubbed in the face of caveman Bob, we'd literally be in the Stone Ages. You and I wouldn't have been born. We wouldn't be talking over the internet. I wouldn't be streaming right here. Technology really is that important. And it's up to you if you want to make it your enemy or make it an asset to your life and live to get, you can, synergy or competition. It's your choice. That's all I have to say about people who feel threatened by AI. Because I was when I first heard about this, like last week, I was, for a second, I'm like, oh shit, what's this? This might be the end of my art career. Then I thought, well, you know what? I love technology. I love my computer. I love my car. I love my bike. I love the internet. I love my power tools. Technology is fucking awesome. And it's probably one of the 3 things that makes my life meaningful. So I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to join it. I'd rather be a cyborg than that fucking hipster that gets left behind. Oh shit. You there, AG? But yeah.
Yeah, I just have my mic muted.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm
So, yeah.
sick and I don't want to make the audio quality shit.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know how much of my audience I lost. But yeah, that was, I don't know, that just really got my almonds. That really got my steam engine running. Yeah. You remember watching John Henry when you were a kid?
Actually, no. I don't think I ever watched it. I remember watching a show about a giant. It was like in like the cowboy days or something.
Iron
He was
Giant?
like this. No, it wasn't Iron Giant. It was just a. It was like this
Liberty
old
Prime?
cart. No,
Fallout?
it was like this. No, it was like this old cartoon about this really big, dumb dude that was like a cattle driver or something, and he was so big that like a tornado came in and he decided to wrangle up the tornado and he died saving a bunch of his friends wrangling up a tornado. I don't know. It was fucking weird.
Oh.
Um,
Anyway, I don't know. I think it's really just human laziness that chiefly drives Ludditism and the fear and hatred of technology. So, and like same thing with like kind of the same thing with electric cars. So, I know you're a petrochemical powered automobile fanatic, but I kind of look at it in a mixed bag. If I had infinite money, I'd probably just get. Chief number one, I'd get electric cars for like the tax break. There's some huge tax incentives to do that, especially if you can like buy the cars in cash. But electric cars are kind of like a smaller scale example of this. So people are used to the frankly tedious process of fueling, maintaining, and operating gasoline and diesel powered automobiles. And they don't see the fact that there is a strong market of people who want to have a vehicle that has 19 to 23 less systems to worry about. Like with an electric car, what maintenance do you have to worry about other than a battery change every few years, the tires, the brakes, the body damage, suspension alignment, etc.? There's a large number of people who would love to have that convenience of such a simple machine. And
electric cars have their place, and if you want to own one, go for it. If you want to have one for the fun of it, I think you should 100% go for it. But don't call yourself green or carbon neutral.
if you
Because
live on a
you're just putting
solar
the
farm,
carbon elsewhere.
right?
Is what you do.
Unless you live on a solar farm, you live right next to a hydroelectric plant or a wind farm, etc. Like your locale is completely powered by alternative energy, and you charge your electric car with that electricity, then you are 100% green. But if not, yes, you're just energy out. It's the law of conservation of energy, or law of thermodynamics, I guess. If you're using energy somewhere, and if the coal plant's turning turbines to charge your EV, you're not saving any environment for shit. But I would just get an EV because they're fucking cool. Super quick acceleration, almost zero maintenance. Start up real quick whenever it's cold. You don't have to worry about oil starvation. I would get one. I would get one just for the fun of it. Plus, when some dipshit tries to roll coal in you in their stupid diesel truck, you just feather your gas and you just zip right past them, and like they'll just have egg on their face. I don't know. I think that'd be funny. But thankfully, where I live, that doesn't happen. So people here are chill.
EVs don't work well in the cold.
That is true. The battery life gets shortened because cold reduces the voltage of batteries. And eventually you'll have to replace the battery many, 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 many years onwards. But until then, no oil, no cooling, no... what else? You don't have to worry about oil distribution. You don't have to worry about transmission fluid. You don't have to... Maybe not power steering. Maybe. It depends. What else? Yeah. The only fluid you have to worry about is the water bottle in your cup.
I don't know how Teslas work, to be quite honest with you. I would imagine that they have some kind of electronic power steering that exists.
The way I see it, they're basically the iPhones of cars. They're super high tech, super streamlined. Everything is closed off behind a bunch of plastic and screws. And on one hand, yeah, it sucks that you're not able to. It's harder to do maintenance on it yourself. And yes, it sucks that the warranty policy is probably stricter. But on the other hand, the machine doesn't even break that often. And there's nothing really stopping you from just jacking it up and just using your impact wrench to zip off the lug nuts and then changing the tire as you please. You could buy like a spare and like hitch it and throw it in the trunk, or hitch it on a rack, and then it's just like any other car, right? In that regard. But I don't know, maybe the jack points. Actually, why don't we just make that its own like surprise topic? All right, Tesla Model S jack points. Cause look, like there's a user manual. Can you fucking believe that?
I saw something that said electric cars are more dangerous to be on the receiving end of a crash, so it's safer to be in the electric car, but it's more dangerous for a person who doesn't have it because they're heavier.
Well, it's also because heavier than thick-ass battery, like it throws all the mass at the bottom, and probably, I don't know, maybe it's a stronger chassis? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know if you can see on the stream. So, just in spite of the fact that Teslas are the iPhones of cars, and iPhones and Teslas are like, they're kind of against the right to repair. They're clearly on the other side of the spectrum from wear and repair, and they're more waste and replace, but everything's turning into waste and replace. No one wants to wear and repair anymore, right? I should make a video about that. Fuck. Anyway, so in spite of that, the Tesla community, or really any community of any manufactured device, car, computers, bikes, etc., whatever you name it, that are a waste and replace, there is a wear and repair rebellion against it, which is known as the internet. People are going to figure out ways around the waste and replace implementations. And, like, for example, like hidden repair devices, or plastic covering all the shit that normally is serviceable in, like, in the vehicles of yesteryear. There's going to be people who try to jailbreak. Literally, try to jailbreak the Tesla. And they're going to talk about it on the internet, whether YouTube or TeslaOwners.org.uk. And then if it was put together by a human, it can be taken apart by a human, it can be repaired by a human, and it can be put back together by a human. So that's what gives me faith about this. So yeah, as you can see, so I'd imagine Tesla doesn't probably they're probably not going to tell you where are the jack points to jack it up and like change your own wheel. So you can count on the internet for finding little tricks around it. See? Yeah. So there's your first DIY for all your DIYers, your wear and repairers, wear and repairers. If such a thing exists. That's it. This is your saving grace. Now you can enjoy your iPhone and fix it too. Imagine that, huh? Isn't the internet amazing? Don't you love it? So yeah, I don't know if I'm using the right terminology. Wear and repair versus waste and replace. I think any
Well, you
Lewis.
kind of went before that. You were talking about right to repair.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
right to repair. Like Lewis Rossman, he's a huge advocate of like this, and he talks about it's not just limited to like computers, but also like tablets, phones, cars, literally anything that's manufactured as a technological implement. Wear and repair will always be there. And the manufacturers are pushing in the opposite direction because what percentage of the customers are DIY? What percentage of the customers are handy with tools, willing to work with fixing their own shit when it breaks? Probably about 2% of the market at best. I'd say 2%. 98% of people, they're just waste and replace. I don't want to learn. Oh, that's below me. I'm not a mechanic. I'm a fucking hotshot office worker. That work is below me. I don't want to do that.
I mean, I know a rich family that just they get a new, fairly brand new car. We're talking maybe like a year, maybe 2 years old at the max, and then they'll drive it for a year, 2 years, and they go turn around and go get another new car.
Yep. Maybe it's because they're rich. Maybe it's because they're just lazy. Maybe both. Maybe it's Maybelline.
I think it's just because they're rich.
Yeah, why would you? You probably have other things to worry about. If I were Elon Musk, I wouldn't drive at all. I'd just Uber everywhere so I can make important phone calls and close some like multi-thousand-dollar business deals in the phone calls I could make during that time. I would completely forget how to work on cars, like I did before I became the next Elon Musk. So it makes sense. I see why people like think this way. I see why people do it. And even in spite of that, let me look at all these like rich yuppie Tesla owners. Look, this guy's busting out his impact wrench, his breaker bars, and his floor jack, because he doesn't want to go to the Tesla shop. It's gonna be okay. You can still fix your shit. It's gonna be a little bit harder, but do you back away from challenge, or do you embrace it and become a stronger man? John Henry, steam engine. Yeah. I don't know. I hope it's all coming together. I hope you can see how we transition from AI to John Henry to fixing Teslas and right to repair. But yeah, that was one hell of a topic.
Like we have a listener in the chat.
Oh shit. Hold on. I need to go look at that. Enjoy this picture of Asuka in the meanwhile. Let me go. I gotta look at the chat, see what you guys are saying.
No,
Thank you
someone
for...
in our call.
Huh? Oh, in our call? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Oh, Dragon Man, welcome. You, as long as you're wearing headphones, you may freely unmute yourself as you wish. Or you can just sit there and chill out. That is totally up to you.
He's been there a while.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I get carried away in my own thoughts. What can I say? Oh my god, I am tired. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see what else we got. What other topics do we have?
How sober drivers make up most of the accidents.
I wonder who. I wonder
Probably,
who.
probably women. Stay safe, my booze cruising friends.
So I heard somewhere that men get in less accidents and thus have a higher fatality or a greater percentage of like injurious or greater damage. So okay, men file less claims, women file more claims. Men get in less accidents, but within those accidents they cause more damage. Women cause a large number of smaller accidents and file more claims because of it. That's what I've heard about like men versus women in car insurance and like insurance liability and
I could believe it.
safety.
If you're gonna fuck up so bad that
Okay,
you have no choice but to file.
What do I type to search to talk like in regards to researching that? Men versus women, car.
Men versus women, car claims or insurance claims. There you go.
Okay, let's see what comes up here. So we got car accident statistics on male versus female. Do men really pay more for car insurance versus women? So I guess before we look at those, the way I see this going on. So do men really pay more for car insurance than women? Well, what also depends on age. So insurance, when insurance companies, by the way, fuck insurance. Insurance companies, the way they look at you, they say, okay, if you're younger, whether you're male or female, you are more likely to you're more likely, statistically speaking, you are a more dangerous driver, and therefore it is reasonable to assume that you are a higher risk client. So now the question is, okay, so as a male driver, you are statistically expected to have less accidents, but the accident is more likely to be fatal or cause a lot of damage. As a female client or female customer, you are less likely to cause big damage during accidents, but you get into more accidents and you file more claims. The more claims you file, the higher your premium goes up, right? Or the less number of claims you file, but the more disastrous they are, that also makes your premium go up. I would say it kind of averages, like, the difference is negligible. But let's see what this article says. So who pays more for car insurance? La-di-da-di-da-di-da. But it turns out over a lifetime of driving, men end up paying about 3% more than women. Which you can make go down by, I don't know, being a good driver. Or driving a cheap vehicle. Oh, the cost of your vehicle also affects your insurance premium. If you have a piece of shit pickup truck from the 80s with 300,000 miles on it, it's probably going to be a lot cheaper to insure than a brand new car. So, so then it gets a little funky whenever in the middle age. So the darker blue line is women. So the price difference kind of inverses in the middle age. Because, Karens are obviously the best drivers on the road. Totally hands down, and you're a misogynist if you think otherwise. But then 56 plus, it kind of evens out. People just kind of like drive less at that age. They're starting to get to, they're getting old, they're getting tired. They're afraid their reflexes are too slow. So thus, statistically, on as an average, I guess through regression towards the mean, I believe is what it's called in statistics. There's no point to charge a older man or woman more for car insurance. So is this like a sexist conspiracy against men or against women? No. all people want to do, even the insurance companies, they just want to do their work, get paid, and go home. And they want to cover rule number one business:
Knew
cover your
someone.
ass.
I knew someone growing up. I guess it's fair to say we both came from like the same kind of background when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
like lifestyle, and we were both
Yeah,
about the
pretty
same
similar. Yeah,
age. We are both from the same.
we both grew up in like a semi-rural area, arguably. Yeah.
No, I'm saying I know somebody that got into a pretty nasty accident at a
Mm-hmm.
young age, being a young boy
Mm.
or a young or teen, mid-age teen, whatever.
Okay.
And I had never heard of him getting into any kind of car wrecks until one, he somehow went off the road and hit a pole, and it like fucked him up, and it fucked him up bad, ruined
Mm-hmm.
the car, totaled the car, right? I remember
Okay.
him spending time recovering. Took him a couple months before he could get back on his 2 feet, but he eventually made a full recovery.
Mm.
Later on in life, way after high school, um, he died in a car accident, and nobody
Good
else was
kills.
involved. He somehow just managed to kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because he was a bad driver? Is it because he's a guy?
Well, I don't
I
know
don't know.
anything about this case, but it's hard to say. And I think car insurance kind of falls out of the equation at that point. It's more like life insurance and who wrote the
The
will
only
and who's
accidents
money
I've been
going
in
where.
have been situations where people have hit me,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a woman that hit me. So
Most of my traffic problems, I've been very lucky. I've never had any major things, but most of my run-ins, most of the things that almost became accidents usually involve women. 9 times out of 10. That's just my anecdote. I'm n equals one. I'm just a sample size of one. What do I know, right? I'm just a misogynist that hates women. Yep, you're right. I hate women. I'm gay. I prefer men. No homo. So
he sucked dick just to be Andrew Tate's fuck bunny for a second.
at least Andrew Tate's he's smart and he can hold a conversation, unlike all my exes. So he's got way more style too, dude. Straight up, no homo. I'd rather
I
have sex with Andrew
never.
Tate than my exes.
I'm sure he had a good message to push. I never listened to him because it was just too much. Like whenever I saw him, saw anything about him talking, it was him talking really fast, really loud, and just getting a
So
point across, and the video would end.
I I don't know if that's like natural or if he's just doing that as part of like a marketing strategy to get
I think it's just a
grasp your
marketing
attention.
strategy.
I think he's smart. I think he's like Kanye West, or now known as Ye. He's doing something crazy, brash, or stupid deliberately to get your attention. And then once he has your attention and he sees that your attention span is longer than 30 seconds, he like slows down and he explains what he really thinks and feels. In the end, he's not a bad guy. I think he truly like he wants to the fact he's talking about how he got his success, whether it's fake or not, he wants to help people. And he wants to teach people, chiefly young men, about how to succeed in life, how to become him. Is that a selfish behavior? Does that make him a evil conspiracy theorist who just wants to see the world burn? I think the opposite. I think he's a intelligent, confident, and a much better role model for men than fucking whatever Disney wants you to
It
think.
is. How did he get his money? Does anybody know?
It could be legitimate. Okay, let's. Well, I don't know if we can trust the bios, but let's see what Wikipedia says, and we'll sprinkle some salt on top of it. Oh, sorry, it's in Dutch. Uh, okay. Emery Andrew Tate III is a media personality, businessman, and a professional kickboxer. A self-described misogynist. He's such a misogynist. I want to have sex with him. Said every woman ever. Um. So he was born on December 1st, 1986, in Washington D.C. He is mixed race, apparently. So his dad is a mulatto and was a chess master. His mom, I don't know, she cooks food for a living. His brother Tristan, raised in Chicago, so he's American born, quarter black, raised Christian, played chess. Then in 2005, which I guess he was how old by then? 20 years old? 19. He started kickboxing and MMA. Looks like he was a pro, in fact. He showed up on Big Brother.
Getting a phone call. I'm going to mute myself for a little bit.
Okay. So then he went on Big Brother in 2016. Where he came on scrutiny for his, quote, homophobic and racist comments on Twitter. He's so bad. I want to sleep with him. Ooh. Social media presence, so he's just a smart, confident man who's clearly multi-talented, chess player, martial arts fighter, professional martial arts fighter, and life confidence coach. Yeah. What the fuck's wrong with this guy? Shit, if he was my dad, fuck. I'd kill to go back in time and make this guy my dad. Though I'd rather he groom me to be like a cyclist, like a pro cyclist than a MMA fighter, of course. But other than that, like this guy checks all the boxes. He's the quintessential alpha male. Look at him. Like he's basically like Johnny Sins but with more skills. No disrespect to Johnny Sins though. He's fucking based. But what the hell did he do wrong? He paved his own road to hell with his own good intentions. He just wanted to help young man to be successful, which is the most fatherly thing ever. It's just it just really saddens me that this guy got thrown into jail for bullshit mostly, which I believe. So according to the website, he also opened the webcam studios using his girlfriends as employees. Oh, that's sketchy. Chade and his brother Tristan started the webcam business, employing as many as 75 models to sell fake sob stories to male callers, claiming to have made millions of dollars doing so. He later said the business was a total scam. Fuck, that's some honesty, man. And he opened Hustlers University. Oh, here's another one. Tate received attention for his tweets describing this view of what qualifies as sexual harassment and Harvey Weinstein sexual abuse cases, quote unquote, which is bullshit. Sexual abuse, my ass. And for tweeting several statements about this view as sexual assault victims were share responsibility with further assaults. If they're Harvey Weinstein quid pro quo kind of stuff, yes, they are responsible. In fact, that's not even sexual harassment at all. That's called business. That's called sleeping your way to the top. In 2017, he was criticized for tweeting that depression isn't real. Duh, it's Wikipedia. You can see all the fucking loaded words here. This is fucking bullshit. Man. So, he described himself as absolutely a sexist and absolutely a misogynist. He stated that women belong in the home, they can't drive, and they are, quote, given to the man and belong to the man, as well as claiming that prefer 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds because they're less likely to have sex with fewer men. Oh my god, really? You fucking arrest this guy for hurting women's feelings? This is just... Oh, man.
Our friend joined the voice chat, but I instructed him not to say certain things.
Okay. Alright.
But we could also ask him questions too.
Oh, well, Dragon Man is free to speak whenever he wants, so long as he's got headphones on. Oh, you're bringing Alex Spirits here. Fair enough. Okay. Hey, more the merrier. Welcome to the party. So.
There's quite a bit of there's quite a bit of lag. Is what you're looking at right now? Do you have it up on the stream? It's been your technical difficulties. I'll be right back for a while.
That's weird. Bro, holy shit! Look at Andrew Tate back when he had hair. Holy fuck.
Is he like a fighter or something?
Yeah, he was kickboxing and MMA. This guy's a fucking badass, dude. Ah, well, I mean, it's a short career. You know, apparently there's only like fucking 3 matches, but hey, that's better than what I did. Better than my martial arts has taken me. Fucking. I fucking quit karate school because of fucking public school.
What do you think about the United States not being able to hit troop numbers this year?
I mean, fuck the military.
So here's the thing. The military is 100% volunteer. Everybody in the military right now is 100% volunteer.
U.S.
But
military not being able to meet recruit quota.
Are you sure your stream is showing what you're looking at? Do you have your shit on the right monitor?
Oh fuck! Oh my god! Are you kidding me? Oh shit! Jesus! All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I guess it's an audio thing. Oh man. How long has it been that way?
A while.
Oh fuck! Oh my god! I'm tired, man. I'm sorry. All right. So yeah, in case you guys are curious, here's the website for the car insurance. Fuck, I thought it was on the whole time.
Wait, hang on.
Anyway.
Or is it that lagged behind?
No. Latency shouldn't be more than just a couple minutes for you. So here's the Wikipedia article we read about Andrew Tate. If you guys want to look through it, I'm sorry. This is awful. Okay, now.
The worst stream in the history of streams.
It's terrible. It's despicable. We should all be ashamed. It is not the best. It is not huge. Disappointing.
Well, I'm not really
ABC,
concerned with it.
You're fired.
You're fired for not alerting to me this.
You need to learn how to use the computer. We can't make America great again if you don't know how to use OBS.
Mr. President, there's been a second stream.
I don't care. Hillary can do whatever the fuck she wants. She's a Democrat. We're better. We're gonna make America great again.
I'm not really concerned with it, but I wanted to toss you the idea of the draft opening it up to possibly fill in the gaps. I remember reading something that said that they could do that. Like if they couldn't reach recruitment numbers, that and the recruitment people that they're pretty much scraping the bottom of the barrel, because some of their recruitment strategies, they've been going on to like TikTok and other social medias and being like, yeah, join the military. Your food is paid for. Your clothes are paid for. All your shit's paid for. All you gotta do is show up.
It's
and they're attracting
how much effort they put into it. Yeah, you know.
They're attracting people that literally have nowhere else to go. We got a friend that literally had nowhere else to go. It was either that or be homeless, and then prison. So
all I will say to that is, this is why you need to be close to an international airport. So, and you need to get out before they shut off your passport. You know, because yeah, I'm not serving and protecting anything in this fucking regime. So if you to any old boomers living on their GI Bill and Social Security paid by my tax dollars, Maybe. Maybe if I'm in the U.S. If I'm not, then who knows? Um, I don't owe you shit. I don't owe you free discounts just because you walk in with your old uniform, with your cane and your Vietnam veteran hat, and I don't owe you respect. And if you demand it, well, you can kindly go fuck yourself because the U.S. military is a bureaucratic pile of flaming dog shit, as far as I've heard, and I'm not interested in joining them. So, fuck you, and enjoy your free money from the government. You are the second biggest welfare queen of all in the entirety of the United States federal budget. That's what I think about the military. Um, it wasn't, 10 years ago, I was singing a different tune. I had a totally different opinion on military. It used to be a cool place where you'd actually like learn things and become a better man or woman. But yeah, now it's just disgusting, and I would be ashamed if I were a ex-service member of any branch. So, is this? I don't know if you can see the article. Is this the article that you were looking at or thinking of? No.
I apologize. I had to blow my nose.
Oh.
I thought I was getting better, but now it's just getting fucking worse again.
As long as you blow me while you're at it, we'll be good.
Yeah. I'm not really concerned about it, but
I guess if we're just not fighting any, okay, most of the combat the American military engages, as far was what I'm told, is mostly through drones. You know how many people do you need to maintain a drone? You need a mechanic to like load the missiles and refuel it, and to I guess do the heavy maintenance on the thing. You need like air crew to like take off and land and take off, and a pilot to pilot it remotely. Like how many people, like, other than, I know that's like an oversimplification, but how many people do you need to run a Predator drone? Not that much. So the rest of the military is just, it's just another fucking job, depending on your MOS. If you're a truck mechanic, you're a tank operator, you're a fucking army band player, a custodian, a cook. There's all kinds of jobs in the military, and the military is just you're just working for a department of the government. And the reason why, I think the number reason why,
funny.
I think the three reasons why the military recruitment is so low is because of one, vaccine requirements, two, general loss of trust, faith in the American military, and three, the fact that economy is diversifying and there's so many more opportunities for people who are, like you talked about, who have no better options. Now they do have better options. Why the fuck would they go to the military? And they have to deal with the first two problems. Why? No, there's no reason. So the military really has to get creative if they want to bring more people in. They need to get rid of these three problems in order to increase their size. So the third problem, the third opportunity, like opportunities outside of the military to get out of a bad situation, bad moment in life. Well, the government's trying to clamp down on that, whether it's stock market or whether they want to regulate like 1099 jobs. The second problem, well, that's usually contingent on 1 and 3. Problem 1, and once you resolve 1 and 3, number 2 kind of solves itself as well. Problem number 1 is completely a decision of the United States military to have excessive vaccine requirements that no one wants to fucking take anymore. So, yeah. What are they gonna? So, before I read this article, which I don't really feel like I'm gonna learn too much by reading it. The military's best move is to pretend, like turn a blind eye to people not meeting the vaccine requirement and getting recruitment in anyway. That's the best way to do it. And I think the other two problems kind of follow through with that. So once people see that the military isn't full of corrupt bureaucratic shitbags that you normally would deal with in like a private business, like a corporation, corporate bitch fights, corporate problems, corporate bureaucracy. Once they see that the military has something to offer them, whether it is good pay, a learning experience, a a saving grace in life, a place to actually meet friends and keep them, then the idea of going to the military might actually be more appealing. But until you change that, why the fuck would anyone sign up for the military? Look what they're making you do. You're making you take this vaccine that clearly does not work multiple times to do a job that really kind of sucks. You can't quit, you can't leave, otherwise you get thrown into jail, dishonorable discharge or whatever it's called. Why would you do that? So, and then I don't know if they said anything about this is the start of a long drought for military recruiting. Yeah, well, I just told you 3 reasons why. The pool of those eligible to join the military continues to shrink while young men are ever disqualified for obesity, drug, or criminal records. Yeah, you got to drop those. Look, it's just like any company, just like any business. Let's say you're in a company that needs this type of employee, ex-employee. Usually there's a long list of requirements. You got to be drug-free, you got to be healthy, you got to have a clean criminal record in order for us to hire you. Because those are liabilities, right? To have a druggy, obese, ex-criminal employee, that's a liability. Now, the military is creating its own liability by not having people to run the military. So, how do you fix this problem? You got to lower your requirements so you actually have people to fucking show up and do your work. Whether you're a business or you're the Army, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, Space Force, whatever the fuck. You gotta start accepting fat people, obese people. You gotta start accepting, I don't know, pot smokers maybe, and people with misdemeanors. And if that's not enough, then you gotta crank it up another notch. You gotta accept morbidly obese people, serial druggies, and felons. And if you're still not getting numbers, well, I don't know. That's up to you. Whether you're a businessman or an Army recruiter, you know what to do. It's up to you. It's your call. So that's kind of what's happening at my company. I work in a field that is pretty in demand. So they either got to raise the pay, which they cannot afford, or they got to lower the requirements of being accepted into the job. So the military's got to do the same thing. The survey, so Internal Defense survey obtained by NBC found that only 9% of those young Americans eligible to serve in the military had any inclination to do so. The lowest number since 2007. Yep. And it's your fault, Mr. or Mrs. Recruiter. It is your fault, bureaucratic military general. It is your fault, President Biden / Kamala / Pelosi. Not to dish on the Democrats, Republicans are fuck-ups too. It is the executive branch of the American government that is deciding what to do with the military chiefly, at the highest level. And it is up to like the recruiting officers, the pencil pushers in the military's office buildings, as to where to set the requirements for their recruitment of their whatever unit that they're in charge of, however big or small that is. More than half of young Americans who answered the survey, about 57%, think they would have emotional or psychological problems after serving the military. Nearly half would think they have physical problems. They think they're going to be physically or emotionally broken after serving. Yeah, well, it depends on your MOS. If you're a fucking line cook, that's gonna be different than being in infantry. Like dealing with drop pans in a kitchen is a lot different than dealing with drop bombs on your head in a battlefield. So overall confidence in U.S. government institutions is also decreasing. Duh. 2021 annual Reagan National Defense Survey conducted by Reagan Found just 44% of Americans had a great deal of trust and confidence in the military, down 25% since 2018. This trend will likely continue. Yep. Fuck you. This is what you get for being stupid and sucking bureaucratic dick. I hope it hurts, because you probably deserve it. But other than that, I mean, it's just the same thing as any like corporate bureaucracy. It's just government bureaucracy at that point, or really even more broadly, any large group of people, and the more you pay them and the more time you force them to spend with each other, the more likely they fight. And yeah, sometimes leaders don't really understand. Leaders are often out of touch with the people that work for them, and because of that, they don't. Whether it's a CEO of a multi-billion-dollar corporation or I guess a big general in any branch of a military. Yeah. So to tackle the growing crisis, the Pentagon is reviewing some of the more than 250 disqualifiers for service. Yeah, Mr. Recruiter, you gotta drop that list down. Otherwise, no one's gonna sign up. No one, even the people that do sign up, you won't let them in because of these 250 reasons, including some medical conditions that have historically required recruits to obtain a waiver for service for kept individuals out of uniform entirely, according to multiple defense and U.S. military officials. For example, in the past, ailments like asthma and ADHD could disqualify someone from serving if the recruit had symptoms after their 13th or 14th birthdays. But now the Pentagon is reviewing whether individuals have been asymptomatic for a shorter period of time could join without a waiver. The military is also... Alcoholic Gaming talked about this. He brought this up. The military is also discussing allowing service members to use platforms like TikTok to attract recruits. That's so pathetic. I pity you. Oh my god. In 2020, President Donald Trump ordered a ban on the use of social media platforms because of the Chinese company that owns it collects biometric information of users. Oh, fuck off. Trump is not why you can't recruit people. Your stupid rules are why you can't recruit people. Get real. Pull your head out of your ass. Like, I say that for your sake. I don't give a fuck about you. Or maybe I do. I don't know. I don't understand myself sometimes. We have to be where the recruits are, and TikTok is one of the biggest social media platforms in the world. One defense official involved in personal issues said. Anonymous, I see. The Pentagon is looking to increase recruitment by targeting more influencers, like parents, teachers, and coaches, by creating recruiting stations with multiple services in them rather than service-specific locations. Even moving recruiting offices to better neighborhoods. According to multiple U.S. military. What the fuck does better neighborhoods mean? Does it mean out of the ghetto? That's like racist. The Pentagon may put more effort into recruiting eligible DACA recipients, said officials. Long-term challenges like declining eligibility and trust in the military are only part of the issue. Yeah, that's kind of true. It is one big slice of it. Sentiment. Customer sentiment, right? Or employee sentiment. According to defense and U.S. military officials, most recent challenges include national labor shortage, inflation, and the effects of the pandemic have also affected recruitment. 2 years of COVID had led to canceled air shows, a drastic decrease in in-person recruitment efforts, and more people now wanting to work from home. Yep. Hey, if you guys know how to code, you need some software for your drones. That's how you do it. You get these fuckers to work from home. Pay them for code. Work with military contractors. That's how you keep your military running. Automate it. Just like how the private sector is doing. Oh wait, the private sector is doing it because all of your toys for the military are bought from the private sector, known as the military-industrial complex. Duh. Kuzminski argues that COVID hurt recruiting. Stop fucking using COVID as an excuse for your failures. You fucking coward. You deserve your failure. I'm sorry. That's just a fact. But adds another challenge. Has been a political pressure in some school districts not to let recruiters on campuses. Face-to-face meetings can be a powerful incentive to enlist. It's a bit more effective. in like if you do an in-person sale, you get to communicate through your customer through many different fronts. You can appeal to all five of their senses. You can smell good, you can look good, you can talk slick, you can tell them jokes, make them feel good, make them feel happy, make them excited. It's just the basic sales right here. Face-to-face meetings can be powerful and incentive to list. Yeah, but if you say, "Oh, we virtual meetings only, 3 masks required, 1 on your ass and 2 on your face," people aren't really excited by that. Nothing says, rah rah ooh rah, join the Marines, or hooah, join the Army, quite like wearing 3 masks and zooming your fucking meeting with your recruiter. Like, what the fuck, dude? Are you this stupid? Jesus. No, you're not stupid. You're just dishonest. You're lying to yourself. That's what's going on. Army
Thinking
Secretary. Huh? Oh, what's up? Welcome back.
Thinking about getting my my YouTube channel rolling again. Just popping back on the alcoholic gaming.
Well,
YouTube channel.
you're free to download this video and re-upload it in your own channel. Just
try to snowball off of each other.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was just if you were gone, I was just chewing into like the fucking coping, the seething and dilating of these idiot generals and recruiters who don't know how to fucking recruit, and teaching them how to do their job for them. Yeah.
Gotta go.
So it's just the same 3 reasons. Yeah. Oh, okay. One of our guests left. One of the you've heard the 3 reasons. That's really my biggest takeaway. And it's just the same problem as any like business. Your requirements are too high. You make it too painful to do the interview process, and your company's PR is shit. You're not gonna find employees, or if you're the military, you won't find recruits. So. The Army is offering flexible 2-year to 6-year contracts, duty stations of choice, a program where enlistees can be stationed with their friends, and a $10,000 quick ship bonus. What the fuck is this? What? A bonus up to $10,000 for individuals who agree to begin training within 30 days. Wow, this is just... Oh my god. Just drop your fucking requirements. Outsource. Look for personnel to work from home. Outsource to contractors. Because clearly you guys don't know how to do your own fucking job. Oh my god. So yeah, it's just really, it's a business problem more than anything. So yeah. I don't know if you got another article from me, but I think I don't know, did I miss anything?
No, I don't think you missed anything at all.
Yeah.
No, I'm here. I'm trying not to make bad audio sounds because I'm sick.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. So, yeah, that's what I'd do if I were an army recruiter again.
I didn't use enough mind over fucking matter.
Mind over matter is bullshit. But that being said, having the right attitude can affect your hormones. And your hormones affect your communication with your body. And when you communicate better with your body, you're better off in the long run. And actually, that might lead us to another... I don't know. Maybe that's a Sunday topic. Show topics. Well... Yeah, so we had 2 bonus topics. I guess I should add those on there. 2 bonus topics, and the stream wasn't fucking loading.
This round.
Was that bonus round?
Yeah, bonus round.
I guess we could do hater hour. How long is this stream? How long is it so far? It is just under 2 hours. Well, unless you got anything else for me, I guess we'll go straight into hater hour.
What is hater hour?
Hater hour is when I invite someone or I bring up an article where something I disagree, somebody, something, someone, some idea that I disagree with, and we go at it for 1 hour. And if I don't learn anything, and if there's something to learn, I will stick around, and if I'm proven wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong. If not, well, we'll just keep the idiot around for entertainment, and then once the hour is over, we move on. So, I believe that people learn more through disagreement than agreement. But it has to be like coherent disagreement. The disagreement has to make sense, or it has to be backed up by some kind of proof. Otherwise, what are you learning? You're just talking shit on the internet, like a fucking like a rap battle, just bad mouthing the other person, which can be fun. There's a time and place for that, which is why I limit hater hour to 1 hour. Or I learn something new, and the hater changes my opinion, and I become a better person. It's an interesting element to the show. So, no chats on McTuttle.tv.
My most viewed video has 2,300 views.
Wow, is that Forza video from like 2019?
Yeah, it's that Forza video, and it looks like just most people saw it, lost interest, and just went straight to the comments section. There's 52 comments.
Yeah, people's attention spans are short. Fuck, I'm thirsty. Oh my god, my head kind of hurts.
Bitch, you thirsty? Please grab a Sprite.
My heart rate's a little lower, so either my heart volume is increasing, or I don't know, I'm just really exhausted. But either way, it's good. It's good to be exhausted. That means your parasympathetic nervous system is working, which is really important for recovering. What's really bad is when you're exhausted, but your cortisol is so high that you just can't chill out and you can't get the rest that you need. That's when you're in trouble. So. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's nice. No?
You enjoying yourself?
Alex Jones reference? No?
Alex Jones reference. What about him?
Isn't there like? Isn't like? I heard. I'm one of my favorite pieces of electronic music. To be vague, there's they took a clip of Alex Jones where he's like, "They're coming for you," and then another one's like, "Oh yeah, that's nice," something like that. I don't know. Whatever. That was an inadvertent reference. So, yeah, I guess we'll do hater hour real quick. I don't know. I'm fucking tired, but the show just keeps on moving, man. That's just the magic of the human body. It can hyperextend itself beyond its capacity. So, okay, all right. I don't know. I don't know if we can squeeze this in. I guess hater hour is gonna be more like 15 minutes. So I guess okay. So what we'll do for hater hour, since no one's showing up for hater hour, or actually no, I'll no. Hold on. I got another one. I got another quick. We'll do a 2, maybe 3 topic hater hour, and then I think we should. I don't know. I'm exhausted. Maybe I should call the show after that. In any case, let me find the quick. Here's a quickie. We'll do the quick one first, and then we'll do the boring one after. For my biology bros.
Biology bros.
Yeah, biology gang. Fucking roll up. We got some ass to kick. All right. So here's a I don't know how my shitty singing video, me singing the Chainsaw Man opening, led to this comment right here. But Long Sharks, thank you for your contribution to Hater Hour, Long Sharks. Quote, veganism causes pathologic irritability, explosive violence, and death. I responded, okay, show me a study and we can talk about it on this week's show, which was last week, I'm sorry. He said this study, okay, low cholesterol is linked to violent crime. Look, the TLDR of this study is there is a correlation between low cholesterol and criminally violent behavior. So there's a litany of issues with this study. First of all, how the fuck does low cholesterol levels correlate with behavior? Cholesterol levels, either too low or too high, can cause bad health. Bad health pisses people off. When people are pissed off, they make bad decisions. Bad decisions include criminal behavior. Criminal behavior is decided by a set of laws. Not everything that you can do is legal. Not everything that is legal should be done. Seldom is, so on and so forth. There's so many fucking things wrong with this thing if you want to use this as an argument to somehow connect veganism with criminal behavior. So, but more directly relevant, my response is, for information, I'll hand you some freebies straight out of Logic 101. Quote, adjusting for other factors, low cholesterol is associated with increased subsequent criminal violence. Ad hoc, which is ad hoc or go propter hoc, correlation causation fallacy, a fallacy of relevance. Well, let me check that so I don't talk out of my ass. Ad hoc ergo propter hoc. Material fallacies, I guess I stand corrected. So correlation and causation do not necessarily relate to each other. That's the main takeaway here. So that's ad hoc ergo propter hoc. Vegans equals low cholesterol. Low cholesterol equals association with crime and violence. So not only is there correlation causation fallacy in this part of the sentence, but also vegans necessarily having low cholesterol, which most do because eating a lot of vegetables and fruit reduces your blood cholesterol. But there are a small number of overweight vegans who eat nothing but Oreos and vegan cakes all day, and their cholesterol's probably pretty damn high. So therefore I'm not even a vegan, by the way, this is just a username, equals homicidal maniac. So the first issue is, 1, prove low cholesterol is direct causation of violent behavior. 2, Longshank's attempt at a chain argument is very loose, and he needs to tighten his links in order to use that chain effectively. And since then, 9 days, no response. I guess he shut the fuck up. I wonder why. So, that was fun. Let's move on to the next topic for Hater Hour. It's good old Dr. Eric Berg. So my dad is an opposite of me on a lot of things. He's an engineer. I'm a mechanic. He's type 2 diabetic. I'm a younger guy who rides bikes and eats a lot of carbs. He goes on the keto diet to try to fix his diabetes. It's mostly getting worse. I don't do that, and I'm not diabetic yet, but we'll see. He's quite a bit older than me, as you might imagine. He's a huge fan of Dr. Berg, and Dr. Berg is just yet another one of the... I guess I'm famous at this point for ragging on keto, and depending on what you use it for, it may or may not. It's hit or miss. So Dr. Berg, along with Dr. Sten Ekberg, along with a lot of keto people, I classify them into 2 groups. Either they're true believers or hucksters. So there's a small group of people who truly believe in it like a religion. Like they start fights about it. They get offended whenever you criticize it. They're just another one, another flower in the loony bin, right? Or another toy in the loony bin. And then there's people like Berg and Ekberg, among et al., among others, that clearly have an agenda to push, but they're not ideologically married to it. It's clear that they're making money and they got a brand, they got a product, and they got a reputation to protect, and they're just businessmen. So what businessmen, now you know, let's take you back to literature class from high school, grade school, to understand bias, conflicts of interest. What is his conflict of interest here? He has a product to sell. Maybe he's a true believer in keto. Maybe he's just a huckster, a businessman. He's got a brand to maintain. He's got a product, a service to sell. He's got to keep face, so he can't back off on his position. And these are all biases to taint the quality of the information he puts out. That being said, even amidst the biggest mountains of bullshit, there are always little grains of truth. So, if you don't mind, we shall watch this video, and I will walk you through step by step and what I think what's going on.
Now, at the end of this presentation, your attention is going to be greatly improved if you follow what I'm going to show you.
No. Attention's a choice, just like hunger.
There's no doubt that we have a major problem with attention, as well as the hyperactivity that can be connected to it. So I want to discuss this condition, but just be rest assured, there is a very simple solution that has very minimal, if any, side effects. And I think the only problem that people will have is how do you come off your medication with the help of your doctor, of course, and how do you make that transition? Well,
all right, let me get. All right. Hold on, Mr. Berg. Iron off the bat, your recommendation is the keto diet and fasting. Oh, that's a nice pose right there. Oh yeah, that's sexy. The half one eye blink, and you blink with the one eye first. Oh, that's funny. So I swear to God, what he's gonna do? Is he gonna say the keto diet will fucking cure ADHD? And there's maybe that's like 15 to 25% true. My counter argument is that ADHD is a habit. You train your brain to not, first of all, it's a rationalization. If you're not convinced the information is important, you cannot pay attention, period. The more important you think it is, the longer your attention span will be. And that's the first thing is rationalization. And the second thing is your behavior in response to that rationalization. So once you've decided that it's important, well, on a second-to-second basis, you can choose whether or not to pay attention to. Now, whether or not you can actually write that into your memory is contingent, I think, more upon your state of fatigue, your cortisol levels, your dopamine levels, and your mostly physiological factors. So once you get that out of the way, your ADHD will definitely improve. You'll be able to pay attention to whatever the fuck it is you're looking at. And diet is just kind of like a tangential factor at best. Diet can be part of your physiological aspect of your brain functioning. Remember, the brain and the body are in a closed loop, a feedback loop. Sound body, sound mind, ASICs, hashtag not sponsored. ASICs, sound, body, sound mind, sound body. It should be sound body, sound mind, because your body comes first. The body's the base of the pyramid, and the brain is at the apex. So, yeah, ASICs. Not sponsored. I wear all kinds of shoes. So, yeah, okay, I'll shut up. We'll keep watching.
You're just going to have to do it gradually with supervision so you could eventually come off. But the diagnosis using the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, which is a little bit outdated, but it's almost...
It's not just outdated, it is also completely at the behest of political and social winds. Just search gender identity disorder versus gender dysphoria. How did that change from the DSM-4 to the 5? You tell me. You tell me if the DSM is still reliable anymore, which is a whole nother 2-hour topic on like the definitions of mental disorders. That's a hairy topic. Let's stay focused.
almost the same as how they diagnose it now. It's just becoming a big problem because you get a label and a prescription, okay? And then what is the long-term effect? Do you eventually come off this
I need another
medication?
monitor.
What are the side effects when you come off? Is it addictive?
Tests at the same time. It just doesn't work. I need another monitor.
Go buy one. What the fuck are you waiting for?
No.
Yes. Stop being a stingy piece of shit. Spend the money.
Talk about Elon's Twitter. That's an interesting topic.
I don't know, I kind of got this one moving, and I've already got some comments on YouTube asking to learn more about it. So I guess you can line that up. We can do a fucking overtime show.
We can do it later.
Yeah, we'll do it after this.
Bonus round.
Bonus. We got 3 bonuses, man. Fucking, we need to. Anyway.
The boner bonus too.
These are all things that are not worked out. Now, living in an environment with sensory overload, mainly this thing right here, every 5 seconds you're getting text messages. So our society is training us to have less and less attention units with all the different stimuli that are around us. So it's...
Yes, that is correct, Dr. Berg. I agree with you there.
How do we get more attention? How do we get more done? I want to discuss that. But let me first...
Well, the environment is changing. The environment is much more fast-paced. There's a lot more information hitting you all at once. And if you decide all that information to be important, because maybe you don't know how to manage priorities... Oh, I'm sorry, my phone is dinging. Shut up. Silence. Okay. Whenever, as you just seen, demonstrated, the more stimuli you bring onto you put an intelligent organism into, the organism will try to adapt. So behavior, habits, decision-making process, rationalization, prior rationalization, are all much bigger factors, in my opinion, into producing the phenomena we culturally decide is ADD or ADHD.
ADHD.
Yes. All dicks, hot dicks. All daddy dicks. Because that's clearly what it stands for. No homo.
He's big old fucking schlong.
Yeah.
Hot,
Just
juicy cock and ball torture.
Hot, juicy, carb-free twig and berry.
Hot, juicy, carbon-neutral cock.
Oh, God. Nothing will get the fucking ESG money rolling quite like that, man. Oh, shit. This guy's loaded. This guy must be loaded.
Somebody suck that man's dick.
How they diagnose this? It's completely arbitrary.
He's got plenty of cocksuckers, male and female alike. Don't worry. He's not dry. He's getting plenty.
There's no blood test. It's all subjective. Here we go. Attention deficit disorder, hyperactivity disorder. There's 2 sections. One for inattention, and the other is for hyperactivity. I'm going to go through both. So if you have 6 or more of these, you're diagnosed. Often fails to give close attention to detail or makes careless mistakes. Okay, I could think I have that. B, often has difficulty sustaining attention in tasks or playing activities. Okay. C, often does not seem to listen when spoken to directly. All right, next one, often does not follow through on instructions and fails to finish schoolwork, chores, duties in the workplace. Which one of you have that one? All right, next one, often has difficulty organizing tasks and activities. Now, for me, this is why I hire people to do that part, because generally I am not very organized. All right, next one, often avoids, dislikes, or is reluctant to engage in tasks that require sustained mental effort, such as schoolwork or homework. Next one, often loses things necessary for tasks or activities, toys, school assignments, pencils, books, tools. Your dog ate your homework, right? Which is a legitimate excuse. All right, next one is often easily distracted by extraneous stimuli. Okay, often forget.
Well, dog ate your homework. That's bullshit. We all know it's bullshit. But the child might have more legitimate reasons to not do his homework. For example, the public school system being dog shit. Just saying. Dog shit. Dog ate the homework. Now it shits out, and the shit is the public school system. Yeah. Get it. Anyway.
What is he
daily
talking
activities.
about
I mean,
again?
who
What is
does not
what is
have
the greater goal of this video that he made?
Okay, so he's making a video about probably that he's got to sell the keto diet as a cure to ADHD, and I'm here to just tear it apart, and I'm gonna look at the mountain of bullshit and find the grains of truth and point out to the audience on what is bullshit and what isn't. So.
Virtually all of these. Now, the next one involves hyperactivity, often fidgets with hands or feet or squirms in seat. I do that all day long. Often leaves seat in classroom or in other situations. Often runs about or climbs successfully in situations. What if the person has a lot of energy? Next one, often has difficulty playing or engaging in leisure activities quietly. I guess if we play, we need to be quiet when we're playing. I mean, that is ridiculous. Next one is often on the go and often acts as if driven by a motor. Wow. That's interesting. Often talks excessively. So in other words, we should play quietly. Don't talk too much. Don't seem to have too much energy. Make sure you don't climb on anything. I just have to show you two other things that are, if you want to be entertained today from this book. Page 736, it says adverse effects of medication not otherwise specified, and I guess the code is 995.2. This category is available for optional use by clinicians to code side effects of medication when these adverse effects become the main focus of attention. So if I understand this correctly, if the patient focuses too much on the adverse effects, then we can throw this code in there. Now look at this other one right here. This diagnosis is B15-81, non-compliance with treatment. Okay, the reasons for non-compliance may include discomfort resulting from treatment, like side effects, expense of treatment, decisions based on personal value judgments, or religious or cultural beliefs about the advantages and disadvantages of proposed treatment. All right, so whether you're diagnosed or not, and you want to increase your attention span, realize that ADD or ADHD has nothing to do with someone's intelligence. Okay, we're talking about attention. A lack of attention and hyperactivity in some cases. Intelligence is something completely different. There are people who are not intelligent that have this, but it's very difficult to even find the definition of intelligence. If you try to look it up, I guess medical professionals just don't agree on what it is. Some people relate it to the grades you get in school or how well you memorize things. Well, to me, that's not necessarily intelligence. I mean, intelligent people might be able to memorize very well, but people that can't memorize are also intelligent. So I think if we want to define intelligence, we have to look at the opposite of intelligence, which is stupidity. Okay, what is that? That's lack of reasoning, lack of knowledge, unawareness, lack of judgment. And so intelligence must have logic, rationality, reason, the ability to think, the ability to solve problems, and the ability to quickly pick things up and understand them. But someone's learning ability can also be affected by just not having the right teacher that can teach you the basics in school. Now, I know for me in school, I had a really good teacher in chemistry in high school that really taught us the basics, right? So those basics allowed me to go to the next level and learn more and more about chemistry. Yet in other subjects, I didn't learn these basics. So it was very difficult to learn things over this missing foundation. Like right now, I'm studying genetics. I'm interested in DNA, and a lot of the information in the courses assume you remember all the basics. And I literally had to find videos of teaching genetics to kids to really wrap my wits around these basic pieces. And this brings up a very important point. If a child is in school and they're not really taught these basics and they're trying to learn high-level things, you talk about confusion and a lack of attention because you had no foundation. So everything is a confusion. So unfortunately, I think a lot of kids are just diagnosed with this disorder when in fact, what they really need is better study skills. They need to learn how to learn. Now, there is a physical component to this, okay, in your brain. They don't know this for sure, but there's some relationship between the frontal cortex and your ability.
Surprisingly, this video doesn't come off as as full of shit as I anticipated. He's actually making a decent point, and he didn't even pitch his like keto bullshit yet, which is I find surprisingly respectable. He as a doctor, as a chiropractor, mind you, keep in mind he is a chiropractor, not a fucking dietitian, not a biologist, not a biochemist, not a physiologist. Well, I guess chiropractor is, he's a chiropractor. I agree with him fully that before we addressed any of these tertiary factors, the primary factor is behavior, cognition, rationalization. And that's clearly what he touched on. So, good on you, Dr. Berg. I'm impressed.
Ability to concentrate. There's also a relationship between another part of the brain called hippocampus and your ability to focus and concentrate, which is in the category of cognitive functions. Now, what's interesting about the brain is it's only 2% of your body weight, but takes up 20% of your body's energy and calories. It's an energy hog. Out of all the different organs, it hogs the most energy. And out of all the organs, it is the fattiest tissue. 60% of the brain is composed of fat, which is interesting. Now, one important thing you need to know about attention, okay, is that it takes a lot of energy in the brain to hold your attention, because it's not just holding your attention, it's filtering out distractions and sensory stimulus, things like that. And so if you're
speaking of distractions, actually I changed my mind. Let's go answer the viewer questions real quick. So AI Whisperer is also a thing. Well, I will queue that up. What is AI Whisperer? I don't know. Mr. Kaio or Mr. or Mrs. Kaio, I guess it's a Mr. Sounds like a masculine name. Kaio Desiderio. Tell me more about AI Whisperer. I'm curious. And don't be afraid to join our server. We can talk about it after the show. Let me link you real quick. Go. Sparky. Sorry to keep you waiting. What do you think about intermittent fasting? The Nobel Prize in Medicine 2016 was given for the discovery of autophagy, the mechanism behind the positive effects of fasting. Okay. Autophagy is a really overhyped feature of caloric deficit. Intermittent fasting is just caloric deficit. You eat less calories, you're short on protein. Well, you need protein to synthesize new protein. You need amino acids to synthesize new protein. So if you're not eating enough amino acids to do XYZ, your necessary bodily functions, autophagy just means you're looking through the scrapyard of your body for parts to build things together. What does this do for you? If your problem is you're having like blood clots, it's probably smart to do some cleanup in your vasculature, in your veins and arteries. But if you don't have that problem, what is the point of autophagy? Autophagy is literally, by definition, and I can look this up for you right now. Autophagy etymology. If you look at the word, autophagy is, more specifically, autophagocytosis, meaning self-devouring. Literally eating yourself. Autophagy, if kept out of control, literally will cause you to starve to death. You are destroying your own tissue to break apart, catabolize, turn into energy. What are you accomplishing? It is so fucking overhyped. I don't get it. And you don't have to be fasting. If you are in a caloric deficit, and especially if you're deficient in protein, which is a lot lower of a threshold than you think, especially with adequate carbohydrate consumption, what is autophagy doing for you? If you have a problem with blood clots, if you have a bunch of junk proteins floating around your blood, autophagy might be pretty smart. If you don't, you're cleaning up things by, like, probably the first thing is your unused skeletal muscle. That's the first thing that gets deaminated, torn apart into free amino acids, reconstructed into protein that your body does need immediately. So that's what autophagy is. That's my thoughts on the matter. Don't pay to conduct autophagy. If you want to experience autophagy, don't eat. If you really want to experience advanced autophagy, don't eat for 30 days. If you're just a true believer in autophagy, don't eat for 90 days. And tell me how that goes. I'd love to hear about it. So, thank you for your contributions to the conversation. I don't mean to turn you off. I'm just telling you the truth. With some smartassery in the midst of it. And we shall continue with this Dr. Berg video. Hit me with more questions if you feel the desire to.
If your brain is tired, okay, you're not going to be able to filter out things as much. You're not going to be able to concentrate for a long period of time. So I think a big part of this problem relates to energy in the brain. You've probably been taught that the brain only runs on glucose. And this is a total lie because you can run your body on ketones. In fact, you can run your body on 75% ketones with only 25% glucose. And that 25% can come from that protein on ketones. In fact, you can...
boys. Hold up.
Hold up.
We make a noise.
This is a total lie because you can run your body...
What's up?
Okay, I missed something because I got ADHD apparently.
And sensory stimulus, things like that. And so if your brain is tired, okay, you're not going to be able to filter out things as much. You're not going to be able to concentrate for a long period of time. So I think...
Yes. Sleep deprivation, like I'm experiencing right now, it prevents your brain, or prevents you at a psychological, neurological level, being able to decide what is important and what is not. So then you do everything all at once, and that's why people, they don't sleep well, they forget things, they don't know what to pay attention to, or they pay attention to the wrong things, and then they fuck things up. So get your sleep, eat right, eat enough. Don't engage in too much autophagy, because you're literally destroying your own tissue just to feel your brain and your heart. Yeah. Oh, by the way, autophagy, lipolysis, two completely different things. Autophagy, for the most part, means destroying your own muscle cells. Gluconeogenesis, break down protein to turn it into glucose for energy, or you break down protein into amino acids and turn that into new protein. I don't know. I don't know if you can argue that that's synthesis. It's like recycling. And as you can see in the greater economic system, recycling is not always the most efficient course of action. It's not necessarily cheapest. It's not even the most environmentally friendly, depending on where you send the recycled materials to. Same goes within your body. Your body's a city. Your body's an economy. And you make a government mandate to force recycling. Sometimes that backfires, bro. Whether it's a city outside your window, or it's a city within your person, your body. So there you go, Mr. Sparky, Mr. or Mrs. Sparky. Those are my thoughts on autophagy. Nobel Prize in 2016. All right, let's entertain the ADHD a little longer. Okay, Nobel Prize for Medicine for 2016 was given to the discovery of autophagy. Is it really that new of a concept? Are you kidding me? No. According to Wikipedia, here let's look at this real quick. So in disease, autophagy has been an adaptive response to stress, promoting survival of the cell. Like for example, protection of amitotic tissue, like your heart tissue. If you're an adult, your heart tissue does not regenerate; it becomes amitotic. So thus, there's like this hierarchy of priority within your immune system, where it will send, let's say, for example, they'll try to block a virus. In short, it will try to block a virus from attacking your amitotic cardiac muscle, your heart muscles, which do not reproduce, and send it towards something that is still mitotic. For example, your skeletal muscle, which is why a lot of times you might feel sore in your muscle before you start to feel sores in like more vital organs. Or like whenever you're sick, most of the time, if it's a minor illness, you feel the sickness from your neck down, but your brain doesn't really feel that bad. That's example of the protective hierarchy, whatever it's called, the protective hierarchy of the immune system and the prevention of cell death. So in disease, autophagy has been seen as an adaptive response to stress, promoting survival of the cell, but in other cases it appears to promote cell death and morbidity. For example, eating your skeletal muscles because you're fasting, because you think fasting will take you to Valhalla or something. Or because like the keto hucksters told you that autophagy is the way to reach the heavens or some stupid shit like that. In the extreme case of starvation, as I just stated before even reading this article, the breakdown of cellular components provides cellular survival by maintaining cellular energy levels. Once again, Holocaust prisoner of war, they're all skinny as fuck because all their muscles are dying because that's the only thing they have left to burn as energy to not starve to death. But if that keeps going on, you know how that ends up. But hey, at least you're lean, right? At least you're skinny. The word autophagy was in existence and frequently used in the middle of the 19th century. In its present usage, the term autophagy was coined by Belgian biochemist Christian de Duve in 1963, based on his discovery of the functions of the lysosome. So a lysosome is basically like a vessel within your cell. It's like the self-destruct suicide bomb emergency suicide bomb for cells. Whenever you need to destroy something because you need scrap metal or scrap amino acids, or the cell just needs to die because of a worthy sacrifice to protect the body as a whole, lysosome is what it does. It contains enzymes that destroy the cell, and then it either redistributes the free material to other cells, or it gets sent into the blood plasma or in your interstitial fluid, which is like the pee-like fluid that keeps you hydrated for the most part. That's what a lysosome is. And the identification of autophagy-related genes in yeast in the 1990s allowed researchers to deduce the mechanisms of autophagy, with many references here, which eventually led to the award of the, as Sparky stated, 2016 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine to Japanese researcher Yoshinori Osumi. So, who is this guy or girl? I don't know. I don't care. Fuck. Hold on. Okay, so Sparky just drops more comments. Nice explanation, thank you. You're welcome. Sparky, there are studies on fasting and caloric restriction since the 60s, but it's still an active area of research. Yeah, it is a really hot area of research because the problem with diet science is that there's so many fucking factors. People don't count calories, and there's so many. And now at this point, with our friend here, Dr. Berg, there are people that have stake in a particular outcome of experiments. So when you have politics, you have money, you have ideology, true believers of one diet or another, these taint the quality of the information. These are all conflicts of interest that stress the quality of the said research. So that's why people want to attack it. They want to find the truth. They want to bring the truth to the people, which is, very heroic and kind of naive, really. And there's people with products to sell. There's people who just want to know what the fuck's going on, like me, I guess. There's people asking me on YouTube what the fuck it's all about. So, bottom line is don't pay to do it. Just whenever you're in a calorie deficit, whether you're on keto, whether you're eating a standard American diet that's very strictly restricted in calories, whether you're on a high carb plant-based diet like me, if you're short on calories, you're short on protein, you are conducting autophagy, and that's really congratulations. You won. I don't know what else to tell you. So, yeah. Thankfully, Wikipedia doesn't seem to be tainted by any conflicts of interest in this article, so you can read more about it here. Any more questions regarding anything, drop a comment. And until then, we will keep watching that Dr. Berg video. So,
a big part of this problem relates to energy in the brain. You've probably been taught that the brain only runs on glucose, and this is a total lie because you can run.
That is true. Yes. It runs on glucose because unless you have extensive vasculature, fat is very oxygen intensive in order to break down into ketones and then use the ketones to make ATP. In short, if oxygen is limited, the anaerobic respiration, repeat after me, anaerobic respiration cannot be done without glucose, period. Unless we come up with a fourth macronutrient or a fifth one. So whenever there is in any way a limitation in oxygen, glucose will be burned. Glycolysis will happen. But if there is a surplus of oxygen, for example, if you live in a hypothetical universe where you have infinite oxygen in your blood, I would wager that 99 to 100% of all your metabolism is lipolytic, because there's absolutely no need for glucose. Lipolysis is indeed more efficient, but it requires a lot of oxygen. You do not always have access to oxygen, whether because you are swimming and drowning in a pool, or you're in a very intense athletic competition and your heart is already beating at pretty close to 200 beats per minute and cannot deliver more oxygen. Or you forgot to shoot your EPO today because you're Lance Armstrong and you got to haul ass in that next race. Your body is very limited in oxygen, and thus the only option to turn energy substrates, fat or glucose, into ATP is, say it after me, anaerobic respiration. Respiration without minus oxygen. And that's why any part of your body would ever burn glucose. So, but for all intents and purposes, for more common situations, most people are burning usually a mixture of fat and sugar, lipolysis and glycolysis. So, the brain doesn't really prefer to use one source or another. The brain is more concerned, or any tissue is more concerned about how much oxygen do I have and how much work do I got to do. So it picks and chooses which is the most efficient, which is the only option they've got, more often than not.
Your body on ketones. In fact, you can run your body on 75% ketones with only 25% glucose. And that 25% can come from fat, protein, or even ketones. In other words, you don't need any carbohydrates or glucose for that 25%.
Right. But then you must conduct autophagy in order to produce that glucose. And no matter how close you are to the keto gods in the heavens above, your red blood cells are probably the number one thing that need glucose, because if your red blood cells suck up all the oxygen that they're supposed to carry to the rest of your organs, what the fuck? They had one job. What the fuck are they doing? They're useless. So your red blood cells are the number one thing. That's why people usually can't stay conscious if their blood sugar drops below 50, 60, 70 milligrams per deciliter. I get dizzy when I hit 60. So, gluconeogenesis needs to produce glucose to produce that base very minimum amount to keep your red blood cells running. The rest up for grabs. Usually those other parts, as far as I know, most other tissues kind of have like they're versatile. They look at what's available and they use what's available. So like if you're high carb like me, you're probably burning mostly glucose. You know, it's not as efficient, but race cars aren't efficient. So like, and here's I'll flirt with this topic real quick, and because it's another 2-hour video. Carbs, glycolysis is like a gas-powered race car engine. It's light, it's fast, it's not efficient. It probably smells kind of bad, but it is fast, and the fuel is cheap. It is everywhere. It's highly available. Cheap fuel, cheap energy, which is what the word Dr. Berg uses. Fat is like diesel. It's slow to produce, it's slow moving, but it's steady. It lasts a long time. It's efficient, a bit more efficient in the long run, but it's not fast. Diesel-powered things typically aren't fast, with few exceptions. So, and it requires, it's got a big turbo, big fat turbo, just like any respectable diesel engine does. It sucks up a lot of oxygen. You shut off the oxygen, no power. So, diesel useful for big cargo trucks. It's useful for ships. It's useful for big jet engines. Gas is better for small, lightweight vehicles that require to be fueled on a very low budget, or as cheaply as possible. Gas and diesel, 2 different tools for 2 different jobs. I think we should take the same approach, whether as average Joes trying to lose weight or competitive athletes, that we need to utilize all of the engines in our city body to use diesel and gas correspondingly, or fat and carbs. So that's my approach. But I need to make a whole 2-hour video about the carbs gas and diesel fat analogy.
Energy. So running your brain on ketones can instantly give you a tremendous amount of energy. And on top of that, ketones are more efficient. And the way to feed your brain ketones is to just lower your carbohydrates. And then your body will start oxidizing a tremendous amount of energy and glucose for that 25% energy. So running your brain on ketones can
I don't know where he gets the 75-25 ratio. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're trying to talk, aren't you?
No, I was just saying, hold up.
Hold up.
This is your area of expertise. I don't really have anything to add.
I don't know. You really like the keto diet, don't you? Or do you?
I like it when it's used appropriately and it's actually followed. The vast majority of people I see that say they're on it, they're not even doing it.
Yeah,
right?
These are the kind of people that kind of fuck up regardless of what diet they do, and they're just fuck ups in general. They're beyond help. So yeah, I don't know, gas or diesel. Anyway, so I don't know where he gets the 75-25 ratio. I'll have to follow up on that. It's kind of sus. On God, for real. No cap.
They give you a tremendous amount of energy.
And give you a tremendous amount of energy. Yes. If you have a ton of oxygen ready to go in your blood, you can conduct lipolysis. Yes, it is more efficient. But how much oxygen can you let that diesel engine suck up? Yeah. Oxygen is not an unlimited resource like it is out in the open regarding like cars and trucks.
On top of that, ketones are more efficient. And the way to feed your brain ketones is to just lower your carbohydrates.
Yep. Diesels are more efficient. They get anywhere, 15 to 25% more fuel efficiency for equivalent displacement and power output. But diesels are more expensive. It is more expensive monetarily, meaning that it's harder to find. Stock market, supply and demand. It is also much more oxygen intensive. You need a lot more oxygen to feed that big turbocharged diesel engine. Same thing with lipolysis. You need more oxygen, the fuel's more expensive. So are we really saving anything? Like you buy a diesel vehicle, say, oh yeah, man, diesel's more expensive, but it's so much more efficient. But then you also pay more for the vehicle, you pay more for the fuel. So if you want a higher MPG, yeah, go for it. Small diesel engine's the way to go. But are you really saving money? You pay more for the vehicle, you pay more for the fuel, you get higher efficiency, so at best, you're probably just breaking even. It's same thing here. Fat is diesel, carbs are gas.
And then your body will start oxidizing fat, And then from that, you'll get ketones.
Yep.
And ketones release less waste in the brain. So it's a cleaner, more efficient fuel source. Now, since we're on
Oh, by the way, AG, can you hear like the stream from Discord, or you're waiting on the YouTube stream? I guess I put him to sleep. All right. I guess I'll keep rocking an empty room.
the topic of attention and cognitive function, we have to talk about this. I mean, if you are consuming gluten, for example, that's going to affect the gut and that's going to affect your brain. You're not going to be able to think. You're going to be in a constant state of brain fog, like I was for decades. It wasn't.
Fuck. Okay, so I don't know why he suddenly pulled the gluten card out of nowhere. For information, from what I understand, gluten is wheat protein. It's iffy in terms of amino acid profile, but it is protein. It is literally what holds your bread together as a solid piece of bread. Without it, you just have like powdery, or like if you get it wet, then it's just starch. Starch doesn't hold itself together. The people who for the short answer is that gluten is not a problem unless you have an allergy to it. Now, where it gets complicated is that some people have a low-level allergy. Some people have a moderate allergy. Some people they just get a little tummy ache whenever they eat too much gluten. Some people they get a little tummy ache whenever they eat a little bit of gluten. Some people die when they eat gluten. There's a huge range of magnitudes of gluten allergy that people experience. So if you have an allergy, you will experience some degree. You will experience XYZ amount of inflammation. That's just that's what an allergy is, right? So why is he doing this? Who's lining his pockets to talk shit about gluten? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on that matter.
Until I gave up the grains and went on the ketogenic diet, I felt like a helmet came off my head. I could finally focus. I can finally think. I could hold my attention.
Okay, all right. Slow down, Dr. Berg.
Next topic, or
what's that?
Are you gonna keep hammering away on this?
I'm
video?
on a roll, man. We can hit that. We can hit Musk and Tesla right after this. I want to add on to this. So where was I? So okay, brain fog from eating carbs. It's not actually brain fog. Whenever you eat carbs, that causes your. I forgot the exact sequence, but eating carbs kind of makes you sleepy. It makes you sleepy because carbs, insulin pushes against cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone, but it's also the energy signal. It's the government order to your body saying, hey, energy plants, get to work. We need energy. We need to go. It's go time. Let's go. I pull up. The baby here, right? Now, what pushes against cortisol? Insulin, melatonin, serotonin. I guess when it comes to eating carbs, chiefly serotonin and insulin. So when your blood sugar goes up, insulin is a anabolic hormone. It takes stuff out of your blood and puts it into your body to build things together. Anabolism, anabolic hormones. Cortisol is a catabolic hormone. Cortisol tells your body cells, hey, we need to break shit down, burn it for energy, go, go, go. So cortisol, insulin, they fight against each other. That's me pounding my knuckles together, in case you're wondering. Serotonin. Serotonin is a signal to relax. It's not the sleep hormone that melatonin is, but it is. It's anti. It's not. I don't know if it's like a. It's not necessarily anabolic hormone. It doesn't dictate for the body to build things, but it is a precursor to, I guess, a litany of other anabolic processes and or anabolic hormones. So serotonin, for somehow, which I'm missing, I need to review this. Eating carbs causes a serotonin response, especially a large amount of it. Maybe that's just like it's due to postprandial somnolence. The fact that you're eating a lot of food can also produce a parasympathetic response because blood goes from your away from your brain and muscles into your intestines, so on and so forth. Long story short, eating a big bowl of pasta makes you calm down and feel good and relax. This means less cortisol goes to your brain. Cortisol, energy. Cortisol, stress. Cortisol, focus. So it shuts off activity. Slows down the activity of your brain, literally. and sends the blood away from your brain. That's where the brain fog comes from. So, brain fog can be caused by a number of things, as I just explained. So, Dr. Berg kind of was 50% bullshit at this one. He's like his mountain was 50% grains and 50% bullshit.
So getting rid of the grains on the diet is going to be important. And other things that could be an allergy, like casein, you can have an allergy that can also affect the brain. A lack of sleep is another big factor. Too much caffeine can affect the brain.
Yep.
All of the nutrients, okay, there's several nutrients that are vital for brain energy and to counter this lack of attention. And the biggest one is vitamin B1. If you don't have enough B1, okay, you are going to be in a constant state of restlessness.
Here he goes. Now he's going to sell the supplements.
You're not going to have this calmness. You're going to have maybe restless leg syndrome. You're going to have hyperactivity, especially if you're a child. And you're definitely not.
Hey, man, everyone's got a bottom line. They all got to sell shit.
You don't have to take supplements to be on keto. I've done it.
You don't, but a lot of the problems that keto causes.
It is great for short-term weight loss. And when I did it, it shrunk my stomach because I did it long enough. And when I hopped off of it, trying to drink a normal soda after it, I just couldn't do it. It tasted like I was drinking syrup. So it has its benefits. It's not healthy for old people.
I think when I did
I don't
keto,
think old people should be doing it.
Well, no one should be doing it long term, really, in my opinion. Though, with few exceptions. So, when I did keto, I think the only thing I gained out of it is that I desensitized myself to sugar. And basically, when I came off of it, and for weeks after, even back when I started eating carbs again, I eat sliced bread, and it tastes like fucking cake. It's like, man, this shit is sweet. Holy fuck. So I think that's the only thing I really got out of keto. And I learned about how potassium works. That was also interesting. And now I can confidently tell people, yeah, I tried diet, and it didn't really do that much for me. Nothing really changed, so go eat shit. At least that's what I say to the true believers, and obviously I'm not talking to you because you look at it a bit more opportunistically, which I can respect. Now, where that goes back to this, so B1, I'm not thoroughly versed in every single vitamin, but if I remember correctly, vitamin B1 is a fat-soluble antioxidant. What does it do for ADHD? It's once again a really loose chain argument. So you say that, okay, taking B1 is a fat-soluble antioxidant. Fat-soluble antioxidants reduce inflammation. Inflammation causes all kinds of health problems, and improving your health in general will improve your sleep. Improving health in general usually kind of helps with ADHD, just like how improving health in general helps with a lot of fucking problems. So thus, link after link after link, you drag on this chain, therefore you can say B1 helps ADHD. That's what he did here. How long of a chain do you want to drag around? I don't know. No heartache, no strains. I don't want no chains. There's no way I can hide what I'm feeling inside. No more sadness, no pain, no hiding, no strains. Okay. Anyway.
Not going to be able to think that well, but it's going to be mainly related to the brain's energy. So vitamin B1 is one of the most important vitamins to counter this attention deficit, okay? Nutritional yeast is a good source, or find a natural B1. The next most important nutrient is magnesium.
Nutritional yeast, by
magnesium
the way,
is necessary.
What going vegan taught me, nutritional yeast is a great cheese alternative. It tastes a lot like the cheese enzymes. It's pretty good. Vegan or not, I recommend getting some nutritional yeast. So,
to make energy in the brain, or ATP. It's also necessary to calm the brain if you have this hyperactivity. And you get magnesium from leafy greens. How many kids consume enough vegetables? Well, it's very, very few and far in between. But in one study, over 58% of children that had ADHD actually had a magnesium deficiency, which is quite interesting because if you have a blood deficiency of magnesium, you are very, very deficient. Most of the magnesium is not in the blood, it's inside the cell. And so it will show up.
I got a yeast infection because this pussy making bread.
I got a lady in my head who calls me Stud Muffin.
Anyway. Okay. Magnesium. It's from a logic perspective, it's kind of the same thing. So
logic.
Magnesium is one of the 4 chief electrolytes in your blood. Sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium. I need to brush up on magnesium too, but what I remember is that it's so like there's like two teams of electrolytes, and it's like sodium and sodium and calcium are on one end, potassium and no sodium calcium on one side, magnesium and potassium on the other. Sodium and potassium balance each other out. Magnesium and calcium balance each other out. They kind of like, they push against each other. I guess magnesium supplements are used as kind of like a way to calm down, which I guess is anti-cortisol. And reducing your cortisol whenever your problem is excessive cortisol, chronic cortisol, known as chronic stress, it can have benefits. Being better, you cope with ADHD better, same thing.
As a deficiency in the blood when the cell is severely deficient. And the next most important nutrient deficiency to consider is potassium. If you are deficient in potassium, because of course you're not consuming enough vegetables, because vegetables really give you...
Here's a big problem, Dr. Berg. You told me that carbs are the devil incarnate. Carbs will kill me. But so much naturally occurring potassium is in bananas, sweet potatoes, and what else? Yeah. So, lentils. Beans. So legumes, bananas, tubers all have lots of potassium, but they also have a lot of carbs. So you're basically that was another headache I dealt with in keto, is that in order for me to meet the same potassium levels that I had in my previous diet, which was high carb, mostly vegan or plant based, I had to gobble potassium supplements out the ass, and I was getting a lot of salt, and I was one salty motherfucker. More ways than one. But here he says vegetables, and I don't know if you look at nutrition facts of vegetables. If you eat enough vegetables, you will cross over your carb limit of 20 to 30 grams a day for, depending on what degree of keto you're going to. So, yeah.
If you're gonna eat any veggie, it's got to be above ground veggies. No roots. Cauliflower is going to be the closest you're going to be able to get to any kind of rice. Riced cauliflower.
Yeah, but at that point, you're just basically the vegan eating like fake meat. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
But it's not like your main dish. Like, it's something you'd have off to the side.
Oh, right. It's a treat. Okay, let's look at some nutrition facts. Let's see, how much spinach do you got to eat to cross over your 30 grams limit? Okay. Spinach nutrition facts. No, let's use clean round numbers. 100 grams. So 100 grams of spinach. Let's see. 23 calories, 3.8 grams of carbohydrate, 2.4 grams fiber, and 0.4 is sugar. So 3.8 minus 2.4 is 1.4. 0.4 is sugar. So 1.4 grams of starch and sugar. 1.4 grams of bioactive carbohydrates. 1.4 grams is... So 30. You need to eat 30 servings of 100 grams. That is 3 kilograms of spinach, which is like, what, 6 pounds almost? 6 pounds of spinach in order to go over that limit. So theoretically, yes, if you ate nothing but 6 pounds of spinach a day, you would be right at your 30-gram carb limit. But here's what gets crazier. If all you're eating is spinach, look how much fat is in spinach. Look how much protein is in spinach. If you burn through those two, your metabolism will see, oh shit, there's no fat left, so we can't do lipolysis. There's 3 grams of protein, but protein's not fast enough. We need energy right now. What do? Well, there's 30 grams of carbohydrate from that 6 kilograms of spinach, or 6 pounds of spinach you just shoved down and you just threw down the hatch. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start burning carbs.
If you're eating that much that many greens. You're not on keto. I don't care.
You're not on keto. You're on the toilet, bro. You're gonna spend it all day on the toilet. Just saying.
I don't really think keto's that hard to do. You just
It
gotta
isn't.
want to do it. I've
I did it for
seen
2
a lot
weeks.
of people, like our close friend that we have. He claims
Oh,
he's on it, but
oh yeah, that
and
guy.
I'll watch him serve up the dishes, but the next day we'll go to fucking McDonald's and I'll watch him eat the whole ass breakfast burger,
Yeah.
bread and all, and it's just like, dude,
Well, then it's not even
you're
a
just
diet
lying.
problem. It's not
Well,
even a
no,
diet
then
problem.
it's just you're lying to yourself.
It's
What
a
you're doing.
character problem. Yes, a lack of discipline, a lack of self-honesty. So that's just a broader issue to like a lot of issues affecting that guy's life. So, man. So I guess my animosity with keto was really misplaced. It wasn't the problem with the diet. It was the problem with the people who typically pick up on it, and usually these people, the cognitive failure of self-dishonesty and poor discipline applies to a lot more things more than just diet itself. So that's why I guess now I've kind of quote unquote made peace with keto, especially after trying it myself and learning a few things from it. So, okay.
Potassium and magnesium, you're going to have a difficult time filtering out sensory information or sensory overload. That is going to greatly affect your ability to hold your attention. And then the other one is omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay, so he touched on that briefly. So potassium. So if I remember, I can barely remember the biology 200 shit. So potassium is basically like a rock that your cells. So your cells have slingshots, whether your muscle cells or your brain cells, and they need the rock in order to load the slingshot and shoot it in order to perform some kind of physical action, whether it's like an axon firing to communicate with other brain cells, or part of the whatever the fucking synapse, or your muscle cells sucking in water to contract and then pumping it out to relax. So without potassium, this kind of like cellular activity, there's no slingshot to load, there's no rock to load in the slingshot, so they can't do their job. And that's why when you're short on potassium, your muscles cramp because there's like they're dry firing that slingshot. So sometimes it just kind of goes on by itself, or sometimes it doesn't fire at all, and that's what a muscle cramp is, and those suck. So this is why potassium's important. Eat your bananas, potatoes, and carrots, or bananas, potatoes, and yams, or sweet potatoes, or spinach. 6 pounds of spinach, in fact. Hashtag not sponsored. So yeah, that's why potassium is important, and literally every cell in your body needs potassium.
Information or sensory overload. That is going to greatly affect your ability to hold your attention. And then the other one is omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids, DHA, EPA, are essential for your nerves to conduct electricity and information. So unfortunately, too many people, including kids, are consuming so much omega-6 fatty acid, soy, corn, canola oil, and not enough of the fish oils like cod liver oil. But that can make a big difference. When you start introducing someone to cod liver oil or fish oils, they're not going to see a change overnight. You're going to have to do this over a period of weeks to see the change, because it's a slow process. Now, there's another really, really good remedy I would recommend as a substitute for Adderall or Ritalin. Now,
okay, all right. Touching on omega-3s and omega-6s. So omega-3s and omega-6s are fatty acids. Fatty acids are the building blocks of fat molecules. If you take a fish oil supplement, you give your body less work to produce omega-3 and omega-6s. Omega-3s and omega-6s can be used to put together cellular membranes as part of the phospholipid bilayer. You know, keyword lipid. Lipid means fat molecule. Phospholipid means there's a phosphate attaching to lipids that are diametrically opposed. Here, I'll show you a picture real quick. Phospholipid bilayer. So when people say fat is essential for the brain, there's an asterisk behind that. So fat and cholesterol are fat itself is it is an essential part of a cellular membrane. This is the wall. This, like, whenever you look at a cell, let's see, eukaryotic cell. So when you look at a cell, this diagram is what most cells in your body are like one form or another. This is shrunk down to unrealistic proportions for demonstration processes. The size of the nucleus of a cell, to like, well, depending on the cell, usually it's very, very, very small versus real life image. So, I guess I take that back. I don't know. It's been it's been a while, as you can tell. Okay, maybe I take that back. So, a cellular membrane. Well, I guess I'm still kind of partially right. So, a cellular membrane is a look. Take a look at the mass of the cellular membrane. Take a look at the mass of I don't know. Say like the surface of the Earth. Let's say Earth cross section. So the skin of the Earth is like the crust, right? The surface that we feeble mortal humans live on. What percentage of the mass of the Earth is the crust? Very little of it, I imagine, right? And most of it's like the layers of nacho cheese underneath. High energy, very hot nacho cheese under the Earth's crust. Same thing with a cell. What percentage of the mass of the cell is the membrane? Not very much. I would say a single digit percentage. Actually, you know what? Let's check it right now. Percentage of cell mass. What percentage? Oh god, I can't type. What percentage of cell mass is the membrane? Okay, let's be more specific. What percentage of eukaryotic cell mass is the membrane? Shit, where is it? I don't know. This is probably questions I gotta fucking ask my professor, which I haven't seen in many years, as you know. So in any case, I'm sorry I cannot give you the direct number, but the percentage of mass of the membrane of a cell is very little. Therefore, what percentage of the cell requires fat? Not very much. It is essential, yes. But how much of it is it essential? How much? How many? That's not a good example. I guess it's like whenever you're doing, let's say through life, what percentage of drugs do you need to sustain your life? Not very much, hopefully. Hopefully you keep that amount pretty low. Drugs should not be the primary composition of your diet. You know, some people like to think otherwise, but that's the general rule in order to have a fully functional body. Same thing with a cell. What percentage of your metabolism needs fat? Yes, there is a metabolic need, but how much? There are ways to produce fat, chiefly omega-3s and omega-6s even, by not eating fat at all. It's called de novo lipogenesis. We all do it either as 1% or way too much percent of our metabolism. There's a process called de novo lipogenesis. Otherwise, how the hell did cultures live for thousands and thousands of years eating nothing but mostly starch, vegetables, and cheap energy, as Dr. Berg puts it? So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 9 different processes to turn glucose into fat, triglycerides. So theoretically, you could just eat a bunch of starch, and eventually your body will see, hey, we need some omega-3s and omega-6s. We need some DHA and EPA. We get that from omega-3s and omega-6s. Omega-3s and omega-6s come from fat, dietary fat in general. You can eat carbs to produce fat through de novo lipogenesis. It's a much more work to go through this pathway, but you can survive. You can produce DHA and EPA from glucose. Just to put that out there. Now, the kind of people who need a large amount of DHA and EPA are probably, as he's just stated, growing children. There's a very, very big metabolic need for rapid brain growth. There's an anabolic signal known as being a child and growing. And it's probably safer to say that a more bioavailable source of DHA and EPA chiefly, or second best option, is cholesterol, oddly enough. Or third would be fat to produce cholesterol to produce DHA and EPA. Or fourth, just food in general to produce through de novo lipogenesis to turn glucose into fat, and fat into cholesterol, and cholesterol into like DHA and EPA. If I'm not mistaken, which we'll check on that too right here. DHA and EPA. Let's see what DHA and EPA are chemically consisted of. What are DHA and EPA? Icosapentaenoic acid are long-chain omega-3 polysaturated fatty acids, so basically fat molecules that are used to build cellular membranes, right? Oh, I just explained to you how that works. You don't need to, but it may be an optimization depending on how old you are and what your brain is trying to do. Anyway, let's go back to the BERG video. Oh shit. I'm a mess. I'm sorry. This show is going all over the place. But welcome to a day in my life. Ah, what the fuck? Hold on. What the hell? Where did that video go, bro? Yeesh. I have too many tabs closed. I am sorry. Okay, here it is. All right.
I'm not telling you to come off your medication. I'm not telling you to substitute. I just want to give you this as a really good solution to present with your doctor in case you want to make a switch. It has virtually no side effects. And it's called DMAE, okay? This compound is actually in sardines, but I would recommend taking it as a supplement. It does several things, but it can help rid the brain waste that can interfere with your focus. It's very neuroprotective, okay? So it's going to help protect the brain against inflammation and oxidative stress and free radical damage, but it increases.
I mean, your body already has mechanisms to protect amitotic tissue. Just saying. Your brain and your heart, yeah, it's really hard to regrow those, especially as an adult. But I guess DMAE, if it does anything, which probably won't, it's worth a try. Worth a try. Just don't spend my money on it.
Increases the receptor's ability to absorb acetylcholine, and that's the main neurotransmitter that you need in these pathways. It significantly and potently increases focus and enhances concentration. So DMAE is what I would recommend as a supplement of choice if you have ADD or ADHD. Now, you're probably also going to notice you're going to...
Well, a sound philosophy and good discipline and understanding of what's truly important to you in your life is also a much more effective treatment for ADHD than DHAE and what other bullshit supplements he's probably wanting you to buy. Just saying.
Sleep a little bit better, and your vision might be
good sleep. Don't forget that. There's no benefits to sleep deprivation.
A little bit better because it actually gets rid of certain waste that can interfere with your retina, which is an extension of your brain. Okay, number 2, get on a ketogenic diet, do intermittent fasting.
Oh, here it is. Ah, shit. We got so far, and now he cracks.
You've done that before. And then B1, magnesium, potassium. Okay.
Healthy ketogenic diet, registered trademark, and intermittent fasting, trademark. Ah, man. Oh, Berg.
And omega-3 fatty acids. You can get your magnesium and your potassium from leafy greens in larger quantities. And the next most important video for you to watch would be
TLDR, eat your vegetables and exercise and sleep. You've never heard that before, I'm sure.
On how to get started on the healthy version of the ketogenic diet with intermittent fasting. I put that video up right here. Check it out.
All right, that's it. That was a lot. God, how long was that? That was a whole ass fucking... That was more than an hour, wasn't it?
What,
I think
stream, or you just that one topic?
I think fucking hater hour's over. We're good. All right, let's hit that. So, anyway, for the viewers, if you have any more questions, Live chat's open.
Ask him now.
Ask him now or forever hold your peace. All right, hit me
Oh,
with
the next
that
one.
Elon topic. So fill me in. I haven't been keeping up with Elon Musk and Twitter. What's new?
So Elon Musk, of course, bought Twitter, and he just opened it up and he started releasing information like how many accounts are bots, what's real, what's not, what has Twitter been doing in the past. So he started a series called the Twitter Files. Look those up.
Okay, Elon Musk and
And
Twitter.
where he started releasing what Twitter was doing behind the scenes. So at first, Twitter was actually a space where people could go and share their thoughts and ideas. But as of recently, the FBI has been paying Twitter to push down certain topics.
Okay.
And he came out recently and threatened to release the Fauci files. And he did. Fauci was reaching out and paying off Twitter to push down certain scientists when talking about the COVID vaccine. There's a whole lot of shit in there. You could and I think you could dedicate a whole stream to just talking about the Twitter files. But essentially, what Elon did by buying Twitter is that he released out to the public that the U.S. government was actively trying to censor people using via social media. Because before social media, the only news you could get was through the TV, and none of that shit was ever super 100% accurate. Now they are trying to pay off all of these private companies into pushing down stuff. Now that Twitter is a privately owned company by a new person, all this stuff's kind of getting leaked out.
Hey, AG, do you remember the number one rule of business?
What?
Take a guess. What is it that everyone from the CEO, whether it's Elon Musk, whether it's a government employee, whether it's Nancy Pelosi and the fucking lizard people, or guys like you and me, what is the number one thing you want to do when you do your job? Number one thing to keep in mind. See if you remember. Going once?
Yeah, I don't remember, dude.
CYA. Cover your ass. Always cover your ass. No job is worth losing your fingers, your health, your extensive amount of your life, being sent to jail, whatever. Cover your ass. So, everyone's trying to cover their own ass. Everyone's just trying to do work, get paid, and go home. That's everyone's job, right? Whether you like it or not doesn't matter. That is your priority list. So, the government needs to cover their ass from losing the trust of the people. The useful idiots among us. The American, European, South Africa, Australia, etc. They may or may not understand that people may believe them, or maybe they're just saying things under duress. Whether they're true believers or they're under duress. So but they got to make a decision. So they just kind of glaze over that fact. And all they care about is, okay, we need to make sure people don't distrust the government. Some of it the government can't control. Put yourself in the position of the government. Worry about what you can control. Don't worry about what you can't. Now the question is, what can you control? What can't you? You can't control the information that comes out of media sites, information sources that you can buy your way through. For example, television, newspaper, and partially social media. Social media is a bit of a wild card. They tried to seize control over social media by, censoring people who talk about the Fauci ouchie, for all intents and purposes, or anyone who criticizes women, LGBT, ethnic minorities within any country. Now, probably next is Ukraine. People are going to be censored for saying Ukraine is bullshit. Or talking about, Fauci. Fauci's just a faceplate. They're going to get rid of him once he's no longer useful, obviously. So, now, AVC, you went on a tangent. Nice tangent, bro. But how does this connect back to Elon Musk and Twitter? Rule number 1, CYA. Rule number 2, do your job, get paid, and go home. Government wants to...
It goes back to the reason why he bought it. And I think the reason why he bought it was because he believes that there needs to be a safe space where people can go and actually talk about the truth, where they're not just going to get pushed down or censored or whatever. Because he came from South Africa.
Space. South Park, anyone? Anyway, so I'm 50% agree. I think Elon Musk, first, he's still got a bitter taste in his mouth with the California government. And he still wants to get away with as many fuck yous as he can to the California government. But then he sees, and he starts to sit back, and while he's smoking his joint and making that weird face at the Joe Rogan show, he's thinking, man, it's not just me that got fucked over by the government. It's not just me that has a problem with the government. A lot of people don't like the government. So, not only to validate my own emotions, but also to appeal to my broader audience, I'm going to make this a big fuck you to the government. So not only is it cathartic, but it's also an asset from to his business. Win-win. Elon Musk wins in this situation, for now. So he buys Twitter. He basically fires half of the people there as a fuck you to the government. And he hires his own guys as another fuck you to the government. He prices the blue check mark for $8 as another fuck you to the government. So Elon Musk knows what he's doing. All he's doing is just making fuck you after fuck you to the government. And the government's catching on to it. So what does the government do in response? They start to do what Elon Musk is doing, but in the opposite direction. They try to buy off the employees, buy off this guy, buy off that guy. They start to they just got to throw everything at the wall, whatever they can do, because they got to cover their own ass. They just want to show up to work, get paid, and go home. Elon Musk, he's more than that. He's got to cover his own ass. He wants to get paid and go home, or he doesn't go home. He works 120 hours a week and sleeps in the office. He wants to keep his job, but he also wants to. He's on a power trip. He's on a revenge. He's back with a vengeance. Which is ironic because Tesla would be nothing without the ESG funds. But at the same time, he's saying fuck you to the government. But in any case, I'm proud of him. He's getting somewhere. Clearly, he's upsetting people in the government, but they're making too much money off of him. There's probably too many hands being shaken under the table with the ESG funds and the ESG's connection to Tesla. So they kind of gotta, like if they piss off Elon too much and the Elon say, okay, I'm gonna turn off the Tesla spigot, so you won't have any electric cars to push your EV bullshit. You want global warming. Well, no more Tesla for you, baby. So you kind of gotta, play your cards right with me. So the government's like, fine. And then the government just starts to slowly pick at his government and fuck you government parade one bit at a time, and that's what they're trying to do here. So at least that's what I gather. I'm not sure on you probably know more about the specifics on the Fauci files here and how Fauci comes along here, but that's where I see happening on a broader scale. So government. It's a real tense tug of war between Elon Musk and the government, and both parties have liabilities as well as leverage against each other. So,
forgot what I was going to say.
I tend to have that effect. I'm sorry.
One thing that is happening is Apple is threatening to take off, which this was a while ago, maybe not a month ago, but Apple threatened to take Twitter off the App Store, and Elon just clapped back and said, "Fine, I'll make my own phone."
I mean, he's already got an iPhone on wheels. It's called the Tesla car. As stated earlier, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why they're doing that is because Apple, I think. Oh, by the way, another tangent, real quick. There might be a correlation between waste and replace and government control. At least people kind of think there's a correlation between it. So that's why these quote unquote conspiracy theorists, like usually people like Scotty Kilmer, good old Grandpa Scotty, right? He's clearly libertarian. He clearly believes in self ownership, self sustenance, which is a compromise, ultimately. And he has a slogan: live free or die, basically. I have the right to fix my car as I please, and fuck you for getting in the way of that. Which I sympathize with him mostly. Now, Tesla is unique because the business model of Tesla is heavily dependent on government subsidies, EV subsidies, right? Yet, the owner of that company really hates the government and is actively fighting with them, basically on a social media war. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting, isn't it? So yeah, back to I guess what we're talking about. Hit me with more details about the Fauci files, because I probably just forgot what the fuck you just told me. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
Biggest thing I got from going through it was that Fauci directly was asking Twitter or other social media platforms to just push down other scientists that were trying to get the word out that the COVID wasn't really that big of a deal.
Last month, Musk tweeted, "My pronouns are prosecute and Fauci."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Musk is going all out, dude. I've been following his Twitter, and he's been posting like pictures of just like memes of liberals saying that, oh, you're brainwashed if you think the COVID vaccine is bad for you. And then it's like a Chad dude going, really? Just all kinds of shit. Go to his Twitter. You don't have to go to his Twitter.
Hmm? What's that? I'm sorry, I'm chewing.
I said you could go to his Twitter.
I don't know if there's anything to see there right now.
You'd have to scroll down, but he's got links to the to other Twitter files.
Trust as a service? What the fuck? I guess this is good shit to tack on the tomorrow's show.
The social media was even coming out, not social media, just like the generic news stations were coming out and saying that Twitter didn't work, like he was running it so poorly that it didn't work at all.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what I told you, right?
They're trying to
badmouth.
It was just straight up. Yeah, it's just straight up fake news.
Because if they attack him directly,
reply back saying
if
like,
he suddenly
no,
dies, people are like, hey, that's super fishy. He was fighting with the government. And if they just kill him, that's just like government just blowing its cover that, oh, they're going to fucking kill people. And that'll cause a huge riot. But, again, what does the government want? They want to cover their asses. They want to get paid, do their job, get paid, and go home. So in order to keep that going, you got to play this game with Elon Musk and slowly beat him at it. But clearly, Elon Musk is a lot more in touch with the average people than the government is. Or rather, maybe there's like a 50-50 split. So the people on the right, meaning libertarians and Republicans and, I don't know, I guess cultural conservatives, whatever the fuck that means anymore, they're probably tend to be on the side of Elon Musk. And anyone outside of that group, aka the left, they are loyal to the state. So in that case, if you think about it, actually, according to the conventional definitions, Elon Musk is actually the left wing. He's fighting against the regime. He stood to the right of the king. No, he stood to the left of the king. He wants to leave the kingdom. Meanwhile, the left, the Democrats, the liberals, as you put it, they are standing to the right of the king. The king being, sleepy Uncle Joe. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. In any case, Musk versus government for all intents and purposes. So the government has their loyalists, which are the Karens with their masks and their 300 vaccines and what is it? I'm down with Ukraine T-shirts. Yeah. I'm not a fan of crypto. I'm not in a hurry to buy a Tesla. I think Dogecoin is and still is was and still is a joke. But Musk is I can't not be proud of him. He's kicking ass. It's fun. He's having fun. I'm sure it's really great stress relief for like being a CEO. And I don't know. I think Elon Musk is aging pretty okay. He looks pretty good for like what, 40 something?
When you get so rich, your hair grows back.
I guess. He's definitely definitely gotten hooked up with some really high tech implants. See, look at his hairline right here. So it's clearly a little thin here, right? I guess he had like a widow's peak, and now that's like the widow's peak is going back. So this is kind of hair implant, and his beard's graying. Kind of bit salt and pepper. He's got the crow's feet. He's got fucking vulture's feet at that point. These teeth, either heavily treated, or these two might be fake, or maybe he's just got gingivitis. I'm not sure. So, I don't know. He's patching himself up. He's getting ready to be. He's getting ready to roam the streets of Night City. Wake up, Elon. We've got a government to burn. No? Cyberpunk, anybody? Man, I need to play that game. No, I don't. I need to work on my music. So yeah. Well, you brought it up. I can dig further, or up to you.
Well, how long has the stream been going?
3 hours and 27 minutes.
I will probably have to check out.
Look, man, this is why you do endurance sports, man. I'm a little weak, but I can keep trucking if need be.
I'll save for one more topic.
Okay, all right. I thank the heavens above for my cycling ability to pedal my brain along this 3.5 hour ride.
Oh, dude, I'm playing City Skylines when I'm talking to you, dude.
It's interesting how your body affects your mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very linear, and I just keep on going in that straight line. And you're kind of like approaching like 3 simple tasks at once. So I guess your strength training is causing your brain to be like your muscles, where it's a lot of like type 2 fibers, where it's wide but can't go far. And then mine's the opposite. It's focused and linear. So, or maybe it's cortisol. Maybe my cortisol is high, so it keeps me like directional, straight. But then I guess you're a bit more. Your cortisol is lower, so then your brain just kind of like dissipates and goes wider.
I'm gonna have to either check out soon, or I'm gonna be on mute for quite a bit.
Okay.
Someone just got home.
Oh, gotcha. Well, let me see if the fans are saying anything.
I'll be back.
All right. So nothing new from the live chat. Let me go look at McTata.tv. Let's see if there's anything going on McTata.tv. I know I'm streaming there too. Zero views on what the fuck? Oh shit. Nothing going on McTata.tv. Damn. Okay. I am fucking worn out. Jesus. What else we cover? Wow, that was quite the show I put on. Fuck. Let's put on that music while I try to get my brain to work again.
I'm gonna have to go.
Thanks for sticking around. Ah, well, fuck. Alright. I'm fucking tired. I don't feel good. Oh, shit. I need to catch up on sleep. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I am still, for some reason, sponsoring David of Michelangelo. He's from Colombia. He does marketing, advising, and analysis. He's looking for English-speaking clients. He's great. I recommend him. DM me if you want to get in touch with him. He got hacked. I'm not sure how that happened, and I haven't heard from him in a while. But I would still like to do business with him. And if you got a YouTube channel, you need someone to help you find out who your audience is, help you find your voice, help you get you out there, get some exposure. David and Michelangelo is who I highly recommend to you. It's also sponsored by me. I need some help setting up my Gilded server. I need some help with some grunt work. If you got some time, I have some cash. Let's talk. Let's do business. Other than that, thank you very much for watching for this entire 3.5 hours. Hopefully, I didn't wear you out as much as I wore myself out. And, yeah. Eat your potatoes. Oh yeah, that looks cool. I love that chromatic aberration. I got a little stiffy looking at that. Ooh.